maybe this is a good time to play Hikaru with half of an eye on a candidate spot. Hikaru, he's been kind of hiding some of his best openings, I would say, ahead of next year in the candidates. So maybe this is a chance for Wesley as... okay, you predict the first move right, James. Knight f3 on move 1. c5, the
F3,
reply, we're
C5.
off.
Let's see what he plays next. He's thinking. Wow. E3. Okay, so B3 is coming next. So very close. I was a move off here. Move off, guys.
Yeah. Oh, now. You're predicting it now. Is this the move?
It's kind of he's thinking too. Like it's like he can play D4, C4, Bishop E2, B3. Like I think he wants to play B3 so bad, but he's like, I don't really want to play it now. But should I play it? Should I not? B3. Shout out to the Diego in chat though with the 5 subs. Thanks for that.
Yeah, great prediction. B3 on the board. I think you're right. Like it was a matter of time before he played this. It's his kind of blitz weapon, right? And normally you don't want to show your opponent your best weapons too soon in a match, but Hikaru, he respects Wesley that much, and now he's going for the double fianchetto. Both of them are bishops on the long diagonals. What do you make of this? So solid from both of them.
Absolutely, so solid here. In fact, actually, I love Chessable, of course. I have a nasty streak on there, but I say that to say, one who recommends this from Black side is Spidler. Spidler likes this, and it's part 2 of the Grinfeld, where he actually recommends you just go for this double fianchetto setup, which scores very well. You go D5 and C5, put the knight on C6 or D7, sometimes A6, depending on what White's doing here. But I think Wesley chose a very solid choice here for Wesley So, being Wesley So solid. I think this was a very absolutely great choice. So a very long game that can ensue here for sure.
Yeah, and we see the first exchanges of this match. Pawns coming off, bishop taking a knight in the center, and it's exactly what you said. Like knight A3, knight on the edge of the board to support the pawn.
Nice. Rook C1 ideas, and knight B5 too as well. I mean, you could go E5. I guess you'll have not sort of a hanging pawn structure here, but we do kick the bishop back. But is that necessary? E5, maybe bishop B2, and then, I don't know, rook C8 instead.
Mm-hmm. What are your predictions here? Do you think we'll see C4, maybe a capture in the near future, and loads of pieces coming off the board? Is that what we're going to see in this middle game coming up?
Yeah, he's building up with rook to C1 here. Then he wants to push C4 and try to beat him sort of in-game-ish, I assume. Rook D8, everything is very, very solid as we see Wesley solid. I see it in chat there. What's up, boys? I see you in chat. Hello, hello. What's up, chat? I see you guys. Everything's developed. Very easy game, I think, for both players here. It really just going to be about this middle game. What kind of trades are going to happen? Wesley was shaking his head. Why is Wesley shaking his head, David? Nothing happened, David.
Yeah, he's been playing at 98% accuracy. It's not good enough. That's why. I don't know.
99.
I mean,
It's not
he wants
99.
99.9. Nothing less is acceptable.
He's already shaking his head here. He's in his own head, guys. In his own head. What's up, Rock and Bell? To see him. Yeah, C4 did happen here. Massive trades can happen, especially after DC. There's Bishop B7, Queen B7. Yeah, massive trades.
Yeah, this just looks dead equal to my eyes. The Black Queen will now just jump out the way. Yeah, as soon as these bishops get traded off, like it's hard to imagine either side being better. Like rooks are going to come off the board. Probably the Black Knight moves out the way at some point, and the other bishops come off the board. It definitely feels like a bit of a cagey one. Hikaru making the type of face we've all made, at least internally. We know it's equal, but okay, he's going to play on. He pushes his pawn to E4. That's a very ambitious move.
I like this move. E5 is a threat, huh? E5 takes, you take on F6. Very strong. Very strong. You also have E6 type of ideas. That was a really good move. E4 is really annoying. What if I go E5 then? He plays Rook D8, so he's not afraid of E5 at all, he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. Like E5 is the critical move. If it works, it's very good. But if it doesn't work, then maybe White's overextended. And Wesley keeps throwing us off. He keeps shaking his head. I don't understand that. He's been playing very sensible moves.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to psych out, Hikaru, because they're in a Zoom call together, I'm assuming. So, he's like shaking his head like, oh, I'm making bad moves. Please, you have to try to find the move when he's really, playing with him. I don't believe he'd do that, though. Nice C4, though. He didn't go with E5. Just trying to prepare the position. The knight on A3 was pretty bad, so he wants to make it a better piece. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And now Black has probably a few moves. Like one typical move would be to put the queen in the corner just to sit on the long diagonal, stop White playing E5. Maybe the Black Knight could jump if that's more of a Wesley move, maybe. Just if he wants to keep things safe, trade off the dark squared bishops. He could also pin the White Knight. Lots and lots of choice. Nice to see Wesley not spending too much time, but he's got to make sure he doesn't drop too low, I would say, James, in this match. If he kind of continuously finds himself on the brink of being flagged, then I think that pressure might build up and be the difference.
That is one thing that we have to always remember. Hikaru is absolutely so fast, like it's incredibly fast. And wait a second, Bishop A6, E5 really feels good now because that bishop off the diagonal, we open the bishop up. E6 could be a possibility at some point too. Obviously, we have to watch out for the D4 bishop hanging in some lines there, lots of lines. But E5 is a very, very tempting move to play.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't even hesitate, right? I know your style. You would play that in half a second.
I have to play it here, David. Just you move first, think later, right? But then the knight moves to E8, and there it is. It's on the board. But knight E8 is really strong, so E6 still doesn't work yet. So the question is, what do we do? I mean, E6 anyway. Take. I mean, maybe it's scary, but no, it's just you're playing Wesley So solid. Gotta be careful. Mm-hmm. Oh, E6 now. Maybe F6 afterwards.
Yeah, but
interesting.
This looks so tempting. Hikaru's frowning. He's going to play it, right?
Yeah. Surely. This is inaccurate, chat. It's inaccurate. This is an inaccuracy, chat. It's an inaccuracy. E6.
Oof. It's suddenly really loose for black. Like, taking will drag the black king out. This knight is hanging in the air in lots of lines. I mean, your F6 is probably one of the best moves, but that black bishop is not going to be loving life after that move. Oof. This is going wrong for Wesley.
Yeah, what do you think? After F6, I mean, do we just kind of back up the bishop on B2? Like, what is our next plan after that? You know, gotta hit the knight and then I guess try to play this in game, but we have to be careful because C6 could be a weakness.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be shocked if Hikaru goes like just H4, H5 and starts just keeping the tension, trying to open up the black king.
Wesley... Jay, thanks for the 5. We see you in chat there. Chat with the love.
Yeah, I want to know chat's predictions. Who are they supporting? Who do they think will win and make it through to London? Such a big match. So much money on the line as well as honor, pride.
We all know we got a lot of Hikaru fans in chat. You know, who's not a Hikaru fan, right? At the same time, who is a Wesley fan? That's what I'm looking for. Where are the Flexley So fans? Big Flexley here. Who is a Wesley So fan? Let's see you in chat if you're there.
Mm-hmm. And maybe Wesley's calculating like bishop takes bishop and moving his king after a check. And okay, he doesn't play it. I was going to say knight c3.
Look at the bar.
Maybe some forks.
And he goes, okay, this is the same idea we looked at. Why is this so bad? Like, I knew it. You see this line, but like, why is it so bad? I mean, this is incredible. Oh, Rick D7. Yeah. Wow. It's like so bad.
Blue arrow confirms it. Rook d7, the only move to get the advantage for Hikaru. But I think that's a pretty obvious one, James. He's going to find it.
And there it is. It's on the board here. No head shake from Wesley there. Yeah, this is an ugly move there. The piece is right inside of the territory there. Maybe Rook d7. Let's say we avoid a trade. Bishop a3 could be annoying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good spot. The e7 pawn is very tender. Oh, he's walked into it. Your move, bishop a3, looks so scary. Maybe even rook takes e7 and then bishop a3. What about that one?
Ooh, really nasty. Really nasty moves here. Yeah. Let's see what he goes for. Hikaru is understanding something's wrong here. Also, Wesley down on time. Rook takes e7 is gross, boys. Oh my goodness. Brilliant move. On the board, David, it's there.
He sacrifices the rook. Rook takes e7. Oof.
B5 there. And of course, bishop a3 and bishop c6 was the idea, guys, if you were missing. Bishop a3 check, king e8, bishop to c6. Vicious. Very vicious.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible.
Maybe we just very quickly show that as Hikaru ponders what to do next. If his rook sacrifice had been captured, king takes e7, there would have been a nasty check. And just to show here, the checkmate. Bishop into c6. This closes the door, and rook to d7. The only way to keep things going, but not for long. This would have been the end. So we go back as he's pondering what to do next, how to finish it off.
B5 happened. Now Hikaru trying the absolute best move here. Is there I always like the crazy moves. 95 is a very fun move. Pawn takes, queen check takes, check, king d6. I think he runs away, but it's fun, obviously. But what is the best? You can just do the easy move, rook f7, and then move the knight.
Yeah, I would go the easy route. Route here. He's done the hard work. He's won a pawn. Knight a5 maybe immediately, just to come in with some forks. Looks very, very strong. But Hikaru's burning his time, burning the clock, and he plays rook d7, threatening a fork.
Very nice. Yeah, b7 threat. And if takes, which is on the board, takes bishop a3. He calculated this in advance. King to g8 is all being played out. Queen e7 with the queen idea on d8. Lean back is going to be a resi.
Hikaru is going to take the lead. Wesley, look at that accuracy. It drops so much. It was up at nearly 100% just 6-7 moves ago, but result confirmed. Hikaru wins the first game of the match.
Yeah, it was hard. This knight f3 b3 idea here that Hikaru plays so well, it's just annoying to face because it's not like you exploit it. You can't play super aggressive against it, and white controls the game, it feels. So he's going to have to bring something else here, but we have a Nimzo here. Very nice. Let's see how this goes.
Nimzo Indian. Is that an opening in your repertoire, James? This one looking one of the most solid variations out there.
Yeah, sometimes I'll play it. Obviously, I love the aggressive chess, the King's Indians, and sometimes some Grunfelds, depending on the variation here. I know you love a good Grunfeld yourself, so sometimes a Grunfeld, but definitely a King's Indian type of player. I have played some Nimzos, LTB, and it's just like draws, and like it's hard to get the aggressive chess out of me on those lines.
Yeah, and maybe that's why Wesley's going for this. Hard to get the aggressive play for Hikaru. We saw Hikaru win with a sparkling attack. This line, I've always been a bit skeptical with the white pawn blocking in the white dark squared bishop. Normally you want to bring your bishop out kind of outside the pawn chain before blocking it in, but this is very trendy stuff. They've realized that that doesn't really achieve much, so this bishop will probably just be passive for a while until things open later. We'll see a bishop exchange, and yeah, Wesley doesn't look too excited on the camera, but he's definitely in his prep. At least he's played quickly the first 10 moves.
Yeah, he just seems out of it. Like Wesley with the head shake in both games so far. I mean, okay, we are playing Hikaru, but at the same time, it's like, Wesley just seems out of it for the first two games here. Just head shakes, and there's nothing even going on yet. So hopefully he's able to get his head in the game or whatever he needs to do here to just try to play some better chess. Obviously, easier said than done here, but he's not happy with something. He's definitely not happy.
Yeah, and maybe that's been the one thing, the one question mark for Wesley, as Hikaru makes a small mistake there, according to the eval bar. But yeah, for Wesley, he's so good against kind of the masses, against the average 2,700 players, very efficient, rarely loses. But maybe the likes of Magnus, Hikaru, he has struggled to kind of get their number over the years, struggled to take them down on a regular basis. So big questions here. If he can win this match, he'll feel it's a bit of a highlight for him. But James, to trade or not to trade? Queen's offer on.
As well. That's an automatic. If queen trade, you might as well offer the draw immediately. Queen trade, offer draw. No, of course you play on 100 moves from there. But yeah, queen d1, absolutely. Didn't even think twice about it. I would have played that so fast. C5 on the board here. And yeah, we just got to finish development if I'm white here. Maybe bishop d2 or b4 is a little bit too much. No need to sacrifice. Just develop my pieces. And he did it anyway. Okay, never mind. I was like, yeah, b4 seemed a little bit too much. Why am I sacrificing this pawn, David? I don't know, but Wesley said I'm going to do it anyway.
Wow, that's a cool move. Wesley doesn't sacrifice much, so he must have a reason behind it. There was a pin on the A file for those of you at home wondering why white didn't recapture, so he has to move his bishop instead. And Hikaru, look at that face. He's confused.
I am too, actually. It's like, I don't really need to sacrifice this pawn, bro. Wesley just didn't care about nothing. That's usually Wesley we don't see like that. He usually doesn't take these type of risks. So, yeah, I was surprised by that. I was definitely surprised by that move here. So, b3, nice move. Absolutely, as you're pointing out there. Queen takes b3 will be queen takes e2. I guess Wesley was just looking for more out of his game. He's just like, I want to, try something, which b4 did. Now the pawn on b3 is weak. So maybe we move our knight away, try to attack the pawn, bring a rook to the c5.
Knight somewhere and out the way, then he can win this b3 pawn. But ooh, the eval bar drops after his last move. Wesley might have left it a bit late. Now the black knight is coming. Only move now, knight to c1.
c1 is a hard move. I mean, not for Wesley, but knight c1 is... I don't have anything else. Not really, because knight a5 is incoming, followed by even the knight c4 type ideas, where that could be annoying.
He needs to do it now, Wesley. He needs this black pawn off the board before it stays there forever. Last chance to get it. And he doesn't find it. Wesley, what's happening? Knight a5 is such an easy move for Hikaru now. He's just a clear pass pawn up.
And Hikaru was like, wait, you didn't go? Are you keeping the pawn? Wait, it's inaccurate. It's an inaccuracy. Knight a5, defending the pawn is very likely. Bringing rooks to the c file, even doubling. Maybe putting a knight on e4 at some point, bringing it back to d6 to bully the c4 square. Very fun play, I think, here for Hikaru having that extra pawn.
Yeah, and you can tell he's drawing those arrows in his mind. He plays knight a5 first. Big question is now what? Bishop takes knight is a threat to win the pawn back, so can Hikaru kind of transform his advantage into something bigger? How does he keep that pawn intact?
Yeah, rook to c8. I'll give it back. You know what? I'll give it back to you. C4 would be takes. Oh, a little in-between move, a little little tweener there. Rook b1.
Yeah, sneaky. And now the black rook's going to come into this beautiful square, hit this weak pawn. Like you said, the black rook's actually going to double up on the c-file and just looks like total domination on the queen side.
It's a bad position as an activity. It was Gary Kasparov had that famous quote. I love to hear it. He said, what is it? Piece activity trumps material most times. Obviously, if you have material, that's even better. But the activity of black's pieces seem to be better than white's. But now after the trade, I guess white's like, I'm a little bit active. I can get d5 now. Moves a rook, and okay, this could be a draw, possible, but not over yet. Takes. I do got the two passers here, so anything can happen, David.
Yeah, probably a draw now with best play, but yeah, you've got to be a bit careful of the black rooks coming down to the second rank. The black pawns may be easier to push those. Wesley still with some questions. Hikaru, at least according to the computer, rushed a bit to trade off queens. If he kept the queens on the board, he would have been significantly better. So I think he's just playing it a bit safer. He's in the lead. Can't blame him. But Wesley's back in the game. Probably should give his king some breathing space in the near future, pushing one of these pawns. Don't want to get mated on the back rank.
Right, yeah, we got to make some looks for the king here. Play g3, h3, something like that. Get the king up, and we do have a pass d pawn. So, but black having pass a and b's. Hikaru not liking his position too much here, maybe realizing he did probably trade a little bit too early. There's the h4 pawn. Now there's no back rank mates here, and Wesley can try to use his passed pawn in the center by pushing the e and d pawns. It is possible.
Yeah, it's probably a 3-result endgame, I would say. Just probably they'll balance each other out. They'll find a way towards a draw. Both sides will push their passed pawns, but anything's still possible, as you say. Rook to e2 is a bit of a passive one from Wesley, though.
Yeah, I actually like it. The reason for it is because, I know you probably want to double on the second rank at some point. So now that won't happen here, but then he's like, well, you won't go to the 7th. So you do what I got you, same. H5 with an h6 threat. He says not today. King
g7. Wesley throwing those pawns up the board. He's got connected pawns in the center. I'm expecting those to push. And okay, Hikaru apparently not playing the best moves. The bar going up a bit, down a bit confused maybe. But hard to be accurate in rook endgames. They have such a drawish tendency that I'm going to predict a draw. How about you?
I think the same. As well. Book behind the pass pawn. The rook is always best placed behind pass pawns on offense and defense. So rook behind the pass pawn. You gotta be careful. Wait a second. A and B are quick because the rook is, I have a rook on a3 and the b file too. So I actually can push both of these. Like if I get pawns on a4 and b3, that could be kind of dangerous. The d pawn can't do it by itself.
That's a very good point. Like the e pawn isn't a pass pawn. White only has one passer. Black has two. So it's a bit of a race now. Eval Bar suddenly saying black is the one who's better. Maybe it's just time to push. Just go for it.
And push and push and push. He goes behind the pass pawn though. So now, maybe. Okay, a5 is not playable yet.
Yeah, probably at some point white just puts the rook on that square, blocks black, slows him down. Maybe the white king will come at some point. We see a trade of pawns. Yeah, Wesley, at least he's got into this game a bit more. At least he's playing it out. And a draw, probably just nice to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, of course. It's a stop the bleeding type of thing. This is a second game, right? You don't really want, especially if they're able to run off a few games in a row. That really hurts. And it's tough for the psychology there. But at the same time, hey, it might be a draw. Yeah, Hikaru with the head shake. Wesley maybe feeling confident here. He looks a little bit better than he did before. He was mad at himself. We don't know why. He was shaking his head.
Yeah, Hikaru and Wesley both shaking their heads. This is a real kind of shake-off here. I think for Hikaru, it's because he played rook to d3 and then he went back to a3. So he basically lost 2 tempi. He knew he should have been pushing his pawns instead. That was more important. Hikaru knows it's going to be a draw. Wesley, I don't know. Maybe it's the relief, the head shake. It's hard to tell with Wesley. And now we'll see lots of trades. And probably equality, although Black's rook is going behind. Or not.
Draw here? Draw? Now, of course, Hikaru again try to play on, obviously, to milk the clock, which is always a strategy when you're up, is to just play on anyway until you get repetition or et cetera. And there it is, the draw. The draw, agreed. Hikaru with the head shake. I played so bad.
Yeah, both of them looking very philosophical there. At least Wesley's on the scoreboard. Like he's not really applied much pressure there with White, but at least he survived a bit of a scare. And we're to the Sicilian defense already. Wesley, normally he's an E45 player. This is a nice choice from him. I'm always happy to see this Sicil for the kill, James.
Absolutely. C3 Sicilian for the kill, as we love over here. David Howell actually is a C3 Sicilian vicious player himself as well, guys. If you didn't know, C3 Sicilian, very fun. Now, this was sort of a Kopek system here with the bishop going to D3, going back to C2. Very easy way to play from White's standpoint. Avoids a lot of theory, too, as well. Wesley, I'm known to be more of a Night Earth player or just a Sicilian player, too. He's played a bunch of them. But it's good to see a Sicilian from Wesley just going for more. Really trying to play a little bit out of his style here, at least in this third game here, to try to really get on the scoreboard with a win he would like, because Sicilians generally are known to be more combative games. And of course, we will get something here with both of these players, maybe even a castle queen side from Hikaru.
Yeah, it's very possible. Both sides potentially might castle queen side. Neither side kind of wanting to commit their kings yet. Playing a bit of a guessing game. Ooh, Hikaru might be ready. I wouldn't be shocked if Wesley does something similar, moves his queen. But probably at some point he will have to decide where to castle. Like you said, okay, the king does go kingside. Like you said, it's nice to see the Sicilian. Wesley, I'm just so used to him playing the Berlin, trying to make a draw. Like, it's nice to show the opponent that he's feeling brave here, courageous. But, okay, trade of knights. That's a bit of an odd move, knight h5.
It definitely is. It forces a trade here. Takes, and the bishop is kind of vicious on that diagonal. But, okay, g4, I kick him back. Bishop g6. We have a game, rook A to D maybe, and D4, possible type of ideas. I don't want him to damage my structure, so maybe I do just take on, or do I let him take on G3? No, I think I'll just take and play G4. Very simple, very easy. I do have a weakness kingside, but I like to keep initiative in my favor. At least speed.
Hikaru, wow, he goes for the other option. Computer doesn't approve that wreck of the pawn structure, but it does open the F file, so maybe some attacking chances there. Safe haven for the white king on H2.
Yeah, he wants to imbalance here, which is nice to play for. Imbalance, meaning something is different in the position. It is not the same. It is not symmetrical. So now we have to think about what is the plan for Hikaru here. Queen B6, that is a strong move. C4 could be breaking up the position. B2 is hanging. He said, I don't care about any of that. C4, D4 is the response.
But it's kind of hanging in the air for a move or two. C4 ideas. I wonder whether black should just be taking on E4, giving white an isolated pawn, and then just putting something on the open file, on the D file, and saying, okay, life is good. He could also maybe play queen to A6, some pressure along the diagonal. Lots of choice here for Wesley So.
Yeah, queen E6. Super annoying, actually. He plays it. There it is. That's an annoying move. Because I will take this pawn on A2. Like, you know, I'll take it. I'll take the little gumdrop there on A2. And threatened pawn takes pawn. So you have to do something now. Is knight H4? No, he just takes and then takes. So knight E5 doesn't work either. A3. Ugh. He's forcing him to do something very good from Wesley. Making him do something. ED5.
Yeah, probably this move, it's one of these two, right? E takes D5 or E5. You've got to commit something, but E5 does hang this pawn, and it's just a big question whether that's a freebie. Ooh, I don't think Hikaru's seen this move in advance. He's just trying to figure out how to limit the damage, but probably the safest is to take on... I was going to say take
E5.
on D5. Brave Hikaru.
For it. Here we go. Wow, C4 is best. That's actually incredible. Found by him so fast in the head shake. He's in the game. Wesley. Just strike back.
Great move, Wesley So. There was a pin between the light squared bishops there. White couldn't stop this move, wrecking the pawn structure. Now the E5 pawn is super weak long term. And Hikaru, I think he just needs to avoid an endgame. Any endgame, black is just better. So will he take with the knight or the bishop now?
That is a great question. Do we take the knight or the bishop? Knight takes. There's takes on e5, which is really crazy. How does that even work? But it does.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's like takes on
Ooh.
e5. So he takes with the bishop.
Hmm.
Takes. You
But what
still
about...
can take on e5.
Yeah.
That's a central
Win,
pawn.
winning a pawn. He does it,
There it is.
Wesley.
He goes for it.
Wow. Wow.
Wesley just up a pawn and a better
Yeah.
structure. This is not good.
Yeah. 99.5% accuracy for Wesley So right now. Well
Whoa.
deserved. Very impressive game so far. He needs
He
to win
also
this game,
looks
James.
different. Yeah, he needs to win his game. He looks better. Like for the first two games, there was a lot of head shakes. You could just see a lot of doubt in Wesley in the first two games. But here, it's a whole different Wesley, playing different, looks confident, finding some excellent moves here. Hikaru is trying to survive.
Hikaru is trying to scare Wesley, maybe with some sacrifice ideas. Don't think they work, but at least he's posting up his queen nicely. Wesley, I'm expecting him to just maybe improve his rook, or I don't know, do something with his queen. Maybe go pawn hunting. Wesley, he tends to go, I was going to say, he tends to go a bit more passive when he's already got an advantage. He likes his endgame, so I wouldn't have been shocked if he offered the queen trade, and he did that. But now a bit of hard work, since black's pawn structure isn't ideal either.
Yeah, they definitely went for the just hey, you know what? I'm up. Like I'm playing for two results, is what he's saying. Totally normal. Makes a lot of sense. You know, you're playing Hikaru. You don't want to mess things up as well. You could get low on time, which he kind of, I mean, slightly low on time, not too much, but you know, I'm gonna milk it. I'm playing for two results, boys and girls. You know, it's really hard to lose this from Black standpoint.
Yeah, I do worry that it shows a bit of his mindset that he's happy to go for the minimum.
Hmm.
Normally you have to go for more against the top players. But yeah, he is built for this. Pretty Khalili says in the chat, Wesley, he needs to win this game to change the momentum. He's going to try and play rook e8, maybe e5, bring his king to the center. Still looking very, very good for him here. Pawn up.
And I think the Sicilian was a great choice. If he ever reaches this again, he should go, you know, well, let's go Sicilian, some dynamic type of play. Sicilian, very great choice here. Got him a great position here. He's going to try to, you know, play for these two results, obviously, which is winning and drawing. Winning is possible, but also, okay, draw is too. Just try to play my best. I am up that extra pawn.
Hikaru is just waiting. He moves his rook. Wesley threatens e5. That nearly traps the white bishop. Maybe it does trap the white bishop. Pin. Now the black king could get out the way, maybe. Still
Definitely.
looking very, very good.
Yeah, king g6. King e7 instead, going towards the center a little bit. Oh, okay. Some king d6 type of play, pushing e5 at some point. We got to watch f6 is hanging now, though. How do we make progress here?
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, maybe you install a pawn nearby. That's what Magnus always seems to do and get away with it. But if he wants to play safe, maybe just a trade and then take the open file, swing the rooks across, and just hope the rest of the position holds. Try to enter with the rooks. That would be on my radar. He does trade off. Wesley's been a bit slow here. That does make me worry. Rook f8.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely was thinking of the rook f8 move. So I can free some time up and free some moves. So now I can go king to d6 because f6 is not hanging anymore. So he's anticipating. He plays rook d1. What is the idea? It takes. King d6. Very possible. There it is. Trying to push these pawns down the center.
Yeah, very good move. And c4 is maybe the most natural, but I think his intention is to play rook to f4, Wesley. So,
Really strong move.
yeah, try to clear the path for the black pawns in the center. That's good. Oh, wow.
Oh,
King c5.
using the king. The king's like, I'll do it myself.
Spartan
c5.
king.
Attacking the rook there.
Great move. Oh, that
e4
king is going to be a
intentions too.
beast.
Yeah, that king is active, boys and girls. Active kings. That is one thing to have in an endgame.
Takes back with the rook. That is surprising. Like, I thought that pawn would become very strong. Now it's a bit weak. Why is Wesley trying to exchange all these pieces? It feels like he's really rushing to trade. And, okay, still much better, but that black pawn would have been so strong. Take on d5, go d4.
It's
Now it's a
also
bit
really
harder.
tough because Hikaru is pressuring him on the clock, which is, I mean, it's another day. It's what Hikaru does too, as well. This is his format. So, but at the same time here, Wesley's trying to make things work, calculate, and save time when he's down, almost a minute here on the clock is tough for Wesley. Head shake slightly from Wesley here. Not too happy, totally understandable, but that clock you do have to play as well.
Yeah, and big moment for Hikaru. He's going to give a check, and he's going to try and trade off rooks and win a pawn. And Wesley has to go forward now. Only way
Oh,
to
that's
keep
so
get
hard.
the
He finds
advantage.
it. Oh, King
Oh,
D4. That's a sick move, bro. Because now if you double the pawns, or double the rooks, there's E5. I believe, which
hmm
is really strong there. King is super active. What a move. Wesley finds it. Oh my goodness. Rook takes to take with check and king d2, and apparently that's just a winning in game. Incredible.
wow. And he went with the wrong rook, Hikaru. He could have given a check on c3 with his rook, and then traded off. Oh, Wesley's repeating the position. He didn't play e5. Wow. And now,
24 seconds.
if oh yeah, Hikaru checks with this rook, he can win the e6 pawn, and I don't know whether he's holding that, but there we go. Wesley's forced to retreat, and does he bail out with a draw? Does he play for more? What do you think, Wesley So now?
He said king a5, and we live. I got some time here. I got that extra 1 second on the clock. We're gonna try to make it work here, boys and girls. Who you got, chat? Is Wesley for the dub or is it a draw?
Doubles up rooks, threatening a check. If he can trade off one set of rooks, he's still a pawn up. Wesley So, his king is nearer. Ooh, rook d5. Same idea. Still looking good. At least
Yeah,
the clocks are getting nearer, right? Like it feels like he's got chances now.
that is true. In fact, the clock's getting closer. There is a 1 second increment, so it's not hard to flag, but you do get extra time, and it does matter here. King goes up to f2. It is not winning anymore. Well, now it is, but for Hikaru. Okay, he's supposed to win. What do you think, David? What's the result?
Yeah,
Draw or no?
I think he's got it. I think he's found the right plan. Like the black rook is just gonna, well, it can take a pawn now on g4, but the black rook is gonna find a square where it defends its pawns. It goes back.
Oh
I
man,
would have played the same thing, but the advantage disappears, and
chat,
um,
chat. What's going
g5.
on, chat? Talk to us, chat. Talk to
Wow,
us. Who wins?
wow. Now it should be a draw. Hikaru found all the right moves, and now the black pawn is just too far back. White's king and pawn are too strong. This is going to be an
Yeah, this
easy
is a
draw
draw.
now.
Easy
King
draw.
versus king.
There it is.
Hikaru got out of jail, got out of a
Oof.
really sticky situation there, and holds the draw. 2-1 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 2-1 there. But Wesley has to feel good about that game, even though he drew the game. Okay, he was winning, but he found, okay, I didn't lose the game, right? He's feeling good. Two draw back-to-back draws there. I know Wesley's not feeling bad at all, especially with a score here, 2-1. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. I think the predictions were like 5-3 Hikaru's way every time or something like that. So, so far, I think he's breaking it right now. It's 2-1.
Yeah, still possible. The predictions are spot on. Hikaru looking up before challenging the center. Back to the Nimzo Indian. Wesley now has a big decision. Does he bring his knight out to f3, e2? Those are the two main lines. You can play a3 if you want to be very ambitious. Allow a doubling of the pawns. He plays one of the most classical moves. Hikaru's had this so many times over the board. Full tension in the center. I just have a feeling Wesley needs to win in one of the next couple of games. At least strike at some point in the 5+1, because Hikaru is going to be a bigger favorite the more the clocks drop down.
That is true. And I think, even that psychology part that happens. And when you get that win, you're like, oh, you feel great. Even if you were like losing a few games in a row, even if you're drawing, whoever you get that win, man, it really can change the trajectory of things, makes you feel very good and more confident in yourself, which is huge. So Wesley is looking for that, as he's been able to, one loss, two draws. So still in the game here. Lots of chess left, 41 minutes on the clock. It's 5+1. Still got time. But as you mentioned, as time gets lower in the segments, it's going to be hard for him, especially in that 1+1 format where Hikaru is absolutely a ridiculous beast in that bullet format.
And okay, we see an exchange bishop for knight. Hikaru is trying to play on the light squares now. Having parted with his dark squared bishop, he's going to fianchetto. Next move, white has these kind of awkward, kind of almost hanging pawns, but the c3 pawn a bit backward. I think Hikaru is going to like this type of position.
Yeah, I think he. And you know what's funny? I actually like it from White's standpoint. It feels like a C3 Sicilian. Somehow we reached the C3 Sicilian type. It's positioned similar to this. Where like
Hmm.
we had we let him take on C3 at some point. Knight takes C3, but the knight's still on F6, so it makes a little bit of a difference. But we do have that aim over there with the bishops to the king side. So very fun. But you are playing Hikaru. It's hard to just attack him and get a vicious attack, especially with the bishop coming to B7, able to cut off some squares. G6 or H6 could limit our chances too as well. So we'll see what happens. A4 from Wesley.
Hmm. And he's probably aiming to meet, say, capture on this square by shifting his rook up, just defend the rook, gain a tempo on the black queen, and then he'll take the pawn back. So Hikaru is weighing up whether that's a good exchange for him, whether to take the pawn or
Ooh,
not.
this is like a towel. He say, I'm not taking that. It was like a towel game with the early rook A3, the rook lift on the third rank there. It's beautiful.
Hmm. And too scared, Hikaru, understandably, and the white rook could have been good on the third rank, but instead he fianchettos his bishop. Wesley probably will defend c3 at some point. Maybe bishop d2, although it's a bit slow. We need your attacking instincts, James, to get something going against the
Yeah,
black king.
it's really hard. It's really hard here. Like, I mean, I want to go 95, bishop G5, and rook, E1 to E3, but it's too many moves. Like, it's just too many moves. Like, 95 could be answered with knight D7, and trades would obviously favor black. So I don't want to trade. I want knight G5, but then I get hit with H6. So kind of annoyed. Like, how do I do this? So he goes bishop D2, the slow route, but then black gets developed. It's hard to do it. If I can get rook E1 and rook E3, I'm feeling a little bit better.
Hmm. Slide to the right, slide up that rook,
Yeah,
and get some
slide to
attack
the
going.
right. Exactly. Yeah. Rookie won in 95, and like, it's hard. It's definitely difficult, especially when Black develops all his pieces. Like, I mean, what else can you hope for? You got to try your best, obviously. Maybe Rookie won 95, and then if he takes, you take with the rook. You're just trying to swing pieces to that side of the board.
Makes a lot of sense. In the meantime, Hikaru is thinking it's the pressure on b5 that he's unsure about. Like, if black ever takes on a4, then white gets kind of chance to mobilize in the center. Otherwise, b5 becomes an isolated pawn. Not easy for Hikaru to defend b5 right now. Maybe he's looking at moves like bishop to e4. I don't know. Maybe he's going to gambit a pawn. Probably he'll just take on a4 and get his knight out. That's more of a Hikaru move. No nonsense, no fireworks. Maybe he's looking at this move, this type of idea, James. Knight g4 is often an idea to try and
Yeah,
take on f3 and go for mate, but it doesn't quite work.
that is kind of annoying. Yeah. And knight G4 hits with some type of Greek gift. Bishop H7. Very nice idea.
Yep. And he just develops
Yeah,
his
knight
knight.
D7. Exactly. He's on the board. So now what? I mean, Rookie 1 was the same idea here. So, Rookie 1, then 95.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to get that mate off. Like, I mean, this is an attacking type of position, but Hikaru is a great defender. We know this. So, 95 is really strong, obviously. Rook takes E5, maybe even take with the pawn. Knight takes. Can you do a double bishop sacrifice? Not double bishop, but bishop H7, queen H5, rook E3, or rook E4 if knight D5 after 95, right? So 95, knight takes, pawn takes, knight D5, bishop H7, king takes, queen H5, king G8, rook E4. It's a lot, but I think he gets away with maybe F6. He can run away.
Yeah. I don't think those are working yet, but it's definitely in the air, right? I 100% agree
Absolutely.
that he's looking at those types of things, Wesley. He's just getting into position first, applying some pressure here. Black's probably going to slide the queen and defend that. And then maybe your type of idea is knight e5. And okay, rook trade first from Hikaru.
Yeah, and
Feels like
there's no Greek
Hikaru's,
gift.
yeah, shutting
No
things
Greek
down.
gift. It's hard. It's hard. These positions are very fun, but I mean, if you're not playing, Super GM, like, okay, these positions are fun, but when you are, it's like not fun anymore. So yeah, it's kind of the situation here. You also trade a pair of rooks, like it's not fun.
Yeah, and just for everyone at home, taking on b5 will lead to a bunch of exchanges. I don't think it wins a pawn for white because after capture, the black knight will take on c3 and the tactics work out totally fine for Hikaru. I
Even
don't think he's worse there. I don't think he's better, but maybe Wesley will do that if he wants to bail out, if he wants to keep some tension. I was going to say like h4 or rook b1, but h3 the choice.
yeah, I like it. He also keeps this A file. He's like, okay, if I can't get this attack, well, then at least I have this A file. So if you get some trades off, maybe I could do something. But Rook B8 from Hikaru, keeping up the pace too as well. It looks like Wesley up time though. One of the rare times he's up time.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. He needs to
Definitely.
make that a regular occurrence, I think, in order to have any chance, as we're already over halfway in the 5+1 portion. Very slow start to this match. Not so many games, which is probably good for Hikaru. H6 played, no Greek gift. That's for sure now.
Yeah, just I'm like I don't care. Just attack him always, right? Queen e4, like okay, there it is. Like, of course, just play it, bro. Right? But knight d to f6 is probably the annoying one. There it is, because f3 is not hanging. But I wanted to go queen h4. So going there now is kind of not the move. I mean, you could do it anyway, try to open the g file, but that is risky.
Is this a silent draw offer? Hikaru repeats the position. Wesley, if he plays queen e4, that'll be the second time we've seen that one. Well, what do you think? Are they going to repeat moves, or is Wesley going to fight on?
It's super annoying. Like I can't get what I want here. His pieces are defending the king. Queen e4. Okay, you know what? Listen, I'm drawing Hikaru here. Maybe we'll try a different opening choice with white again. But he went 95 though. He is going for something greater. Hoping for knight takes and pawn takes, and there it is. Now queen e4 gets some big weaknesses on that side of the board.
Yeah, taking away the f6 square is always important. Now it really does look like a c3 Sicilian with the head of the pawn chain on e5. Queen g4, queen e4. Oof, knight e7 is the reply. Hikaru probably just puts a knight in front of his king somewhere on one of these two squares and argues that his bishop is super strong. So he's probably fine, but I understand why Wesley did this.
I don't know, rook b4. Just do it, right, David? Who cares? Rook b4. Let's go all out here, Bring that piece into the game. Knight g6, I guess he could go for it, but I would take and damage that side of the board. He went with queen g4, so it looks like a bishop f4, queen e5.
Yeah, the king moves out the way, stopping any bishop h6 annoyances. And maybe now the queen follows, queen h5, setting up some more sacrifices. Oh, just bishop e3 instead. Still got bishop f4 or bishop d4 in the air if the black queen takes a pawn. I like what Wesley's doing, I've got to say. Like, it feels more energetic than earlier, and he's still up on time, so there's still some chances of winning.
And it needs to be careful, too. c3 is now hanging. Do we really want to... He does it. I was like, do we really want to put our bishop on d4? And he does. Hikaru's just playing very quick here. Queen c6, quick move.
H4. That's probably positional. He's just going to put it on h5 and try to close in a mating net for later, gain some space. If everything takes on f5 now, then g2 is hanging at the very end.
There's also e6 after that, David. And then takes in queen e5. No, but it doesn't work as rook g8. Oh, my goodness. There's a queen g6 there.
Oh, watch out.
Didn't
e6 is the idea.
Yeah, e6 was a nice idea, but maybe he's just block it now. Hikaru is not going to let that happen. There it is. Hikaru's not going to let that happen. And, okay, you shuffle, boys. We shuffle.
Ooh, big moment. Hikaru having the advantage just temporarily, but it's nothing big. Probably it's just the fact that black bishop is slightly more open than white's big pawn in the center of the board. That white bishop not doing much. But this should be level with opposite color bishops now.
Wait, yeah, queen c3. So he went e6. Not today. Not today. c4. Is that just too much? Takes rook b6. Could have been a try, but there's no. They're on seconds.
Under 20 seconds each now. Time scramble. This is the first time we've seen a level position, pretty much level on the clock, where the players are going to fight it out, which is nice to see. Hikaru, he's not pulling the brakes yet. He keeps threatening mate on g2, but now we might see all the pieces come off. Oh, no.
Rook d6 is coming. No, not anymore. Yeah. And done.
Yeah, now it should definitely be a draw. No weaknesses for either side, and they'll repeat the position.
There it is. Oh.
Oh.
Wesley, like, repeat what? What you mean? What is that?
Wow, Wesley's playing on.
Wesley is playing on, bro. Wesley is playing on, guys.
Oh
my goodness! Queen a2! What?
Oh my god.
Queen a2! Playing with fire, you will get burned.
And bishop f2, there's f4 check, driving the white king away and winning the bishop. And Wesley, wow, he was smiling. He wasn't taking it seriously enough, and now he's about to
get a few
pawns down.
Incredible.
Wow.
They should have taken the draw there, and it hurt him in the end. That one's gonna sting. Oh my goodness, David, that was incredible.
That was incredible. Wesley shooting himself in the foot almost there as he refused the draw and loses his second game. 2 points down against Hikaru. It's going to be hard to come back now.
I just gotta take the draw, David. It was there in my hands. I just take it. I could smell it. I could taste it, and then boom, and he's down. It hurts there now, especially right at the halftime. That one is gonna sting because now you have to bounce back. You got to think about your thoughts and just think about what literally just happened there. Chat, what are you thinking? We are back at the Speed Chess Championship. Let's go. And of course, we just had that clip from Hikaru there about the king. What do you guys think about that in the chat there? I actually personally, myself, I actually thought it was entertainment. Like you said, they were encouraged to do that. So I actually thought it was fun. David, they're not doing that in the candidates, right? I'm sure they're not doing that. Or are we missing something, David? Are they like, throwing kings at each other after the game or what is this?
Maybe they'll be brushing their hair at the candidates. Who knows? That was a very slick there from Hikaru. Nice brush. I personally loved the king throw as well. I think there's a lot about intention. The intention was not to, of course, humiliate Gukesh or Team India. It was more to celebrate a win, and it's part of the event. They're trying something new. Yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with it at all. Maybe, who knows, if Naka wins the candidates now, goes through to meet Gukesh, maybe we'll see one of the two, whoever wins, throw that king once again.
Yeah, of course. That would be something, right, David? If they just start, doing that at real games. Do you remember when Sam Sevier? He's incredibly strong, by the way. I mean, just naturally, he broke that king with like he was playing and broke the king with his thumb. I was like, oh my goodness, that was some stress in that game, definitely for sure. I don't know if you guys remember that chat, but yeah, that was a fun time throwing kings and entertainment in chess.
Exactly. Sam Sevian versus Hans Niemann. Very interesting clash that game a couple of years ago now. In the meantime, talking of interesting clashes, this one is about to get going again. We're back with the 5+1, the second half of the 5+1, and James, I was gonna say maybe it's more E3 B3, but no, it's a transposition to the Sicilian again. And here we go, back to this old line.
And again, the Kopek system type of line, it's very easy to play. You just put the bishop on D3, back it up to C2, you castle, and sometimes you play D4 and play D3. It's kind of whatever you like to do here. But they're going down sort of the same line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same exact thing so far that we saw a bit earlier, where Hikaru was bringing his knight over via F1 to G3, but that's not happened yet. Wesley in that game was hesitating to castle. We saw both sides just not commit their kings too early, but that was the game that Wesley probably should have won. Got a big advantage, won a pawn, and couldn't convert. So maybe we'll see Hikaru try to make the first improvement.
Yeah, actually, this was all he castled first. I think, did he go bishop at 4 in the last game?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Yeah, he went bishop at 4. So bishop at 4 allowed knight h5. So now he's just, okay, you know what? I'll chill. Let's do something different. He goes rook e1. Very, very slow type of play here. Something that, you don't always see in a Sicilian here from white side standpoint. Usually you'll see more aggressive options, or you can play it very positionally, as we see Hikaru playing here now. So maybe an e5, d4 at some point, bishop d2. I mean, it's kind of whatever you like. Knight h4 is very tempting too, but I think that just gets answered with bishop h7.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Maybe that's still possible with white playing f4 in the near future, but yeah, bishop d2 I quite like your suggestion. Just get all the pieces into the game, rook to d1. There's always the dilemma when to push e5, like when's the right moment. With the black bishop on this diagonal, it's rarely as nice as in other lines where the black bishop is stuck, but here we go, e5 played. E-file bar drops, but it does allow Hikaru to get this kind of King's Indian attack type of structure. E5 pawn, he's going to build around that, maybe h4, h5, like you said, d4. This is going to become a really tense fight with all the pieces on the board.
That's the first thing I thought too, was King's Indian attack, but it's just misplaced. Like literally all the pieces are misplaced. In the King's Indian attack, the bishop should be on g2, the pawn should be on g3, and not a knight, right? So it definitely is reminiscent of that, but it's completely different here. You would have to, even maybe we could reroute this knight on f3 over to g4 and looking for sacking possibilities in addition to h4, h5, but it's all about timing. Maybe h4, h5, knight h2 to g4, and then you have, again, it looks like it's happening in real time. And it just says, what are you doing with your life? But At the same time here, I think as a human, it feels better. H4, H5, knight H2 to G4 maybe.
Yeah. First he plays d4 to solidify his center. That's often the case with the King's Indian attack. Computers are screaming, like, what are you doing with white? And then suddenly, 5 moves later, white's just giving checkmate. Like Bobby Fischer used to do that to his opponents, and
That's right.
yeah, other strong GMs. So it's maybe now going to become more of like French defense slash Caro-Kann once these bishops leave the board. Someone's going to take... there we go. White should take the black bishop. And Wesley not playing the most accurate moves here. He might get attacked soon.
Yeah, you can definitely feel the attack coming here. Especially you don't even have to really deal with the E5 pawn as much as you would in a regular King's Indian attack here. So trade of the bishops is possible, but I guess that allows a rook to G8 in some cases sometimes to help defend over there on that side of the board. Bishop takes definitely feels like a better move or a great move to play. The follow-up is the hard part here. Is do we go with knight H2 or is it just queen E3 or something? Maybe queen E3 now, but it's happening. It's already on the board. Now what is the follow-up? C4.
Wow. Dynamite stuff from Hikaru trying to blow up in the center. It's quite tempting while the king's a bit vulnerable. Like there's always going to be checks on the diagonal, but if there is a trade, Black Knight gets a nice square. This looks quite pleasant for Wesley again. And whoa, tactics. Knight takes bishop. There's a check.
It's like, oh, his bishop's hanging. His bishop's hanging. Like, of course, yeah, guys. Queen E4 check. Knight G6, I guess, and then takes. Interesting, very interesting. You don't have to take though. It's not. You don't have to take on F4 here. So see what Wesley ends up going with. Knight something B4, and his king is airy. His king is definitely airy. Bishop D2 maybe. He goes for it though. Yeah, I think he's gonna go with this Knight G6 thing, or maybe just goes away. Like whatever. King 8. Yeah, King G8 says the engine. I don't have to damage my structure.
And then maybe the Black Knight comes to B4 afterwards, looking at some forks on D3, maybe going back to the center. He has to be really, really quick, Wesley So, before the White Knight gets to E4 and then D6, and then it's just game over. It's just GG's.
That is a nasty knight there.
Yeah, needs to be quick. King G8. Blue arrow. Has to play it. What he's thinking.
Figuring it out. He wants H8 or G8. He's like, which one? G8. Does not have queen F4. There's no F7 pawn hanging. Bringing the knight around to D5. Knight E4 is really strong as well, as you mentioned. Rook D1, though, is engine.
Yeah, very natural. Defending the threat of the monster fork on D3. But now, taking this pawn just looks like a bit of a detour, right? And the White Knight is going to come in soon.
David, take that pawn, right? I guess maybe Rook C4 kind of traps him.
Yeah. He's got to be thinking about it. What else? He does take it. Greed is good.
Hikaru's like, really? Rook C4 traps the knight. We're going for it. We're going down this line. So it is trapped, but it's not available to be taken yet. Also, the knights are... Oh, he took a second pawn. He's not playing no games. Whoa.
Wow. This is... I was going to say, that's getting scary. Knight E4 was the best computer move, but bishop takes F2 was a check. Winning the rook on C4. That would have been crazy.
And how was that? Oh, I just don't understand how that was correct. Maybe there's like a rook D8, knight F6. Oh my goodness, that probably was it. Rook D8, knight F6. You see that, David? And if King H7, knight G5, that's gross. That's gross.
I just want to show that James will jump in because there was a cool variation. Now black is better. Wesley So has the advantage, but in order to stop that, Hikaru would have had to play the move knight E4, and like you said, James, bishop takes F2 is a check.
Yeah, I wonder if you take or not though. Be a part King H1 or something. Yeah, King H2. Yeah,
King H2.
And it takes Rook D8. My goodness. Or is it Knight F6 first?
Yeah, maybe Rook D7 even. Threaten this one.
Oh,
and
even better.
Rook F8. There was also this idea just to show your Rook D8. Rook D8 check. Beautiful. Yeah. Rook takes knight F6 check, and the queen drops.
Yeah,
and
that's
who knows?
Well,
let's go back to the game.
Stuff. Yeah.
That was
Rook
crazy.
B4 happened. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Wow, we've had some moves, and this is the live position. Okay, this is less crazy, but Wesley's a pawn up again.
Yeah, Wesley's just in a better position. He went pawn grabbing here, and like it worked out, chat. It worked out. He went pawn grabbing. Rook D7 is a threat.
Mm-hmm. Now Queen to A4 keeps the threat. Rook D8 looks like the most. Or Queen C6. There we go. Wesley. Oof. just to see every time he offers a trade, like the bar drops. Same in the previous game where he had the advantage, and his previous black where he was winning, let it slip. Now this is a slightly awkward pin. Knight a7 is the only way to break it. What do you think? Is Wesley gonna is he gonna get it done? Is he gonna choke again and not get the full point?
It's hard to, like that last game he lost, that he just had no business losing that game. He should have just taken a draw there. It'd be closer instead of a 2-game match, right? It was really tough. So here it's really hard to lose this one. Like he would have to do something crazy. So I think he'll feel a little bit better about this draw in this one. But had 2 pawns, now having 1 should be draw, but we'll see what happens. What's the time situation? Yeah, about even.
Wesley slightly behind on the clock. It does feel like he needs a win at some point, and this is the second time he's had a very promising position pawn up with black. Yeah, I just think he needs to get this, but Hikaru is so tricky. Rook to d2, threatening to come in. That isn't a major threat, though. The black knight can always come back and defend its bishop, so maybe it's time to start pushing. Push the black pawn.
Pushing P over there on the a5. A5, really strong. There it is. Rook a2, bishop b4.
Yeah.
Or knight c6.
Yeah, that's a nice square for the black knight. Hikaru's got a small window of opportunity to do something before the black pawn gets to a3. Then it's never going to be captured. It's just going to be too strong. What to do? What to do?
There we go. I say Big West got this game, says Bernie. Any Wesley So fans in chat? Is this his time? He should have had a draw in the last game, but this is a very, very serious chance for him to win.
Hikaru's moving his rook around. Not really sure what he's threatening here. The question is whether a4 is possible.
It is. It's on the board.
It's on the board. A3 is
A3?
coming.
Push.
Whoop. He's going to try and put his rook behind, but that shouldn't stop the pawn for long. Feels like sooner or later black will get active and be able to push that pawn forward. How to organize the pieces. Is it rook
Question
c7,
is,
rook a7?
Oh, that's so nice. Because I was like, this knight is so ugly on c6. Like, what do you do with it? But that's a beautiful idea. Rook c7 to a7. Beautiful idea.
Now maybe it doesn't work. White can take this knight and then use his own knight to sacrifice.
Yeah, bishop b4.
Good move.
All right, chat says JWAM Wesley So it's winning this one. Wesley! Chat is rooting for Wesley.
Yeah, chat just wants a close game, but Wesley, he gives up his a3 pawn. Why? Why would he do that? Just bring the king f8, king d7, king e7, king d7. He could have done this at any time, James. He's rushing with these big decisions. He's always trying to seek simplifications, and he lost a chunk of his advantage.
Yeah, I think that really comes down to one thing, and that is nerves and time pressure. As he has 17 seconds here, there's some nerves and time pressure, I believe, is what is the cause. Because he does have 16, 17 seconds now. He gets that 1 second increment, but once you get low on time, you are facing Hikaru, you just start thinking differently.
Yep. Oh, and some missed opportunities for Wesley, who could have won the h5 pawn if he was more accurate, maybe a knight check, and now he's trying to force a knight endgame. This is a good decision. Still feels like great winning chances for Wesley, so knights are just so tricky. 4 versus 3, probably with best player draw, James, but in practical terms, it must be so much fun for black to play this out.
Yeah, I love what Bob Finnick said about knight in games, is that knight in games are pawn in games. So just trying to figure out how can I get a winning king and pawn in game with the knights right now. King f6, nope. Oh, repeat?
Oh.
Said repeat what?
Wesley, but he's got his own king trap there, so he needs to trade off pawns to get the black king out. That is not a good sign. More pawn exchanges mean that Hikaru is closer to safety. Should be a drawish position now. Black's pawns aren't connected. More pawns coming off the board. Hikaru just looks so confident when he defends. He's just so smooth. Doesn't look in any trouble, even though he has these lost positions.
There it is. He's got it. He has found the way to draw it. Bring the king around. Knight in. And now you got to be careful not to lose it. Don't take that. Be careful. All right. This is easy draw now.
Yeah. And there we go. Smile on the face of Hikaru Nakamura, who gets out of a tricky situation yet again. Wesley still yet to record a win. Oh, how many chances is he going to get? That's the big question. Still a 2-point lead for Hikaru.
2-point lead. And what I really like from Wesley, though, it's not like Wesley's getting blown off the board. In fact, every game, he's lost one game, which was the first game. The second game he lost was actually a draw, but he pushed in a drawn position, wanting more when he could have repeated. So Wesley's actually playing incredibly well, even being down 2 games here. So it really is a matter of trying to fix, obviously some of the losses, but holding my own, staying confident as it seems Hikaru is feeling, or Wesley's feeling a little bit better. But it's not bad. It's not like he's not getting blown off the board here.
Mm-hmm. That's true, and he's mixing things up now, Wesley. He's played the center game, which is normally not recommended. The white queen's already moved. What is it, 4 times now? But he's going to try and play f3, g4, h4, g5, and just go for broke against the black king. I like it.
This is an absolutely great plan. One of the greatest plans there is known to man. Absolutely right. Right. F3, G4. You just push everything, guy. Look at the Wesley 101 here. He's going to teach you guys, And how to defend is Hikaru 101 here.
Mm-hmm. I think he's the best defender in the world. Like Hikaru. He's just so good at defense. And he's going to have to be very good in defense in this position. H5, G6 just looks right up your alley, James. I think you'd mate 99% of the world's population from a position like this.
That's actually 100% accuracy on that there, in fact. David, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what it says in the stats. So, but here, the hard part about it is when we do play G6, it's taking one and pushing the other and does the sack work. So G6, pawn takes, right takes, H6 does the sack work with rook takes, queen F6 or E7 type ideas, trying to defend all of that. And also calculating all of that. And you need to be developed, right? All your pieces need to be ready for this action. I like how Hikaru defended, though, with his knight being on B6. There's no bishop C4 ideas. I have 5 pieces on the back rank right now as white. So as much as this looks scary, if I don't develop, this doesn't work.
Yeah, still some prep needed. Maybe just getting out the way of this bishop. I don't like the black knight's kind of ability to jump into C4. Maybe knight G3 or something like that. This other knight in G1 looks a bit silly, but okay, king B1 is always sensible in these positions. Opposite side castling. This is this is going to be the most fun game so far, I feel. D5, both sides going for it.
Maybe F4. Could I play F4 here? I just don't care about nothing, David. F4 and just F5 and just everything. Just push it all. Who cares? I'm down 2 games. I don't care anymore.
Push him, baby. Yasasera one.
Push him. Push him. Bishop D3. Got his pieces out.
Mm-hmm. What to do next? Hikaru, will he centralize his rooks? Knight to D5 with ideas of knight into C3 check. White's got like knight F6 check ideas. Black has ideas.
Yeah, that's really annoying. Knight D5 is really strong. Knight D5, queen D2, or D8. I'm out the way. That's a great move. Knight takes D3. Not what I really want when I'm trying to attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hikaru is just so calm. He's just going to try and trade everything off and say that white's pawns are actually weak. No attack anymore. Maybe he's right.
Yeah, that's really... Whoa! Whoa! Has he lost his absolutes? Or no? He said, I'm going for it. That was nice. But Hikaru would have that doesn't work.
Yeah. Hikaru is just so calm. He just takes the free pawn. He's like, okay, my king's a bit open, but I'm a pawn up. And now I'm going to try and mate you. Queen F6, watch out. There's B2 hanging. This is tough now for Wesley.
Yeah, do you got to go Queen C1, Queen F6, FG? That's not enough. You can't give that up. Wow, Hikaru with the shake there. Like, what is this, right?
Oof. What is this? Is there a knockout blow? What does black have here?
I know, right? Like, I don't see it.
Almost knight D2, rook takes, and queen E1 check, but the rook back to D1. White can block. He's setting it up. Now knight D2 is a massive winning threat. Followed by queen E1. Oof. This is over. I think it's just Forktown.
Might just bishop D3. Only move, probably.
But knight A5 will trap the white queen.
Oh my goodness, that is gross. Yeah, this is that a resi on the spot? Would you even have a move, David? You don't even have a move. Maybe Rook takes Rook and like hope for the best. Rook takes Rook and
Yeah.
King A1. Like, ooh,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
that is gross.
Something with King A1 or run the other way with the Queen.
Queen
But
G3, hope for the best. Queen F6 is
oh,
still there too. With
oh
Bishop,
yeah,
Bishop,
that's just
yeah, C4 hanging, B2 hanging.
that's over. Okay, has to be King A1 next move.
Yeah, take the
Hikaru's
Rook on
debating.
Queen. Yeah,
Hmm.
which one? Rook, King A1. He's out of the way, so he's he can live to fight a few more moves. He says.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it's not clear yet.
That was well found from you, but also from Wesley. He needed to dodge the checkmate, and yeah,
This is a cool
Wesley like
idea.
yeah, great opening choice, but it's backfired. Like high risk opening, and
Right.
it's all gone wrong.
I went Rook D5. Um, yeah, just attacking him. Rook to the other side of the board too. There's stuff with like I thought he would go like Queen F6 and look at that Knight A4 type idea. Like it's like so
Mm.
nasty with both the knights hitting B2.
Oof, that's mean. But
Pretty mean.
what he's done is also nice. Like the white bishop is actually almost trapped. Like bishop to d3, there's all these knight to d2 ideas, and the white queen is trapped, so it has to go to g4 only move.
Hmm.
But what next? Maybe just a5, a4, a3. Slow play it.
Yeah, I'm hoping for I can get my Queen to G3 and take on G5. That's like a Hail Mary.
Hikaru still with 2 minutes. He's played so well and so quick in this game, and yeah, just looks so strong now. A5, the pawn's coming.
Yeah, A4 is on the way. And he's like, what, Queen G3 anyway. He takes on G5 and probably moves G5 afterwards. Queen G3, I mean.
Hmm.
Yikes! What a masterpiece from Hikaru here. He just kind of blew this opening apart here. In fact, Wesley was just never able to get off the ground in this game at all.
Yeah, it looked so good for Wesley, and then 3 moves later, he was almost lost. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Hikaru turning on the
knight
magic.
E3.
Oh, a4 is going to trap the queen. That's beautiful. He's stopping your idea. Like, that's really clever. Queen g3 would definitely have been next. So that's been stopped, and a4 is a trap. That poor queen.
Dang!
No.
I mean, what a move! Yikes! Knight F4. Is there Queen D5 here?
Oh,
There it is. I mean E4. I'm sorry, Queen E4.
hmm.
But yeah, Queen E4 with the Rook hanging, Knight takes C2 as well. Rook C1, you sack. It doesn't matter. Wow, this was a incredible game from Hikaru today.
Wow. Yep. Game of the match so far. Hikaru just so powerful. He's winning a piece. Wesley looks shell shocked. He looks just so flustered, trying to keep his composure. But 94% accuracy nearly from Hikaru in such a crazy game like this one, opposite side castling. That's very, very impressive. Wesley was just the one
Yeah.
big mistake earlier.
Yeah, wouldn't play this one no more. All right, is there any fancy mates, guys? Let's see. It's puzzle rush time. He just says, "Psych." Let's take the night, bro. Just be simple. Take the night.
Yeah, he could definitely have taken on c2 there. Like that was very, very winning. But he takes the 3 pieces instead. 2 pieces up now, and Hikaru gets it done. 3 points ahead now.
Yeah, 3 points ahead. Incredible here. I mean, wow. What we thought? What did the prediction said? 5-3. So yeah, we got 8 minutes left. That gives us maybe one more game after this. It's possible, but it looks like Hikaru has already wrapped up this portion.
Yeah, and we transposed to the c3 Sicilian from the Reti. And now this has been a trendy move, knight f6. It's been very successful at the World Cup, where lots of people have been going for this kind of fried liver attack type of thing with knight g5. And then there's d5, take on d5, and there's some sacrifices on f7. Wesley's trying to provoke Hikaru. Probably Hikaru should just push a pawn forward and say no, no complications. But Wesley, he's already playing some very desperate openings, and d5, best move.
He's going for this theory's fun because, like, I remember this. I won one game OTB. They didn't go for this line like it was with Black. It's an IM, but I won that game with Black. He didn't go for the knight g5 line. I was ready for that. But I was able to win. It was nice. You get good positions with black here. This is fun though. This is fun.
Hmm.
Queen F3 is wrong. Wait, oh, it is Queen H5 G6 Queen F3. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And
So what's the problem with this move? It's the same
now
thing.
the difference after bishop takes d5 is that black plays queen f6, and this endgame's quite nice for black. There we go. The
Oh,
black's going to
okay.
play bishop f5, put a bishop on d3. This happened at the World Cup in several games. Ariane Tari won with black in classical on demand.
Hmm.
Nobody seems to know queen h5 and then back to f3. It's so important, but nobody knows it.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a very nice thing. I never knew. I knew the theory. Queen five G6 Queen F3. Okay, yeah, but wow, it's incredible. So now that he doesn't have the pawn structure difference anymore. He's just got a solid game.
Yeah, looks good for Wesley. He's going to castle queenside, and this is a backward d pawn. Um, yeah,
Hikaru
it's
shook his
happened
hand
like
there too. He didn't like that.
yeah, it's happened like 2 or 3 times at the World Cup. This exact opening, so maybe Hikaru hasn't been watching, but Wesley definitely has.
Yeah, Hikaru was like, "Wow, so getting ready for the candidates, like chilling, chilling, family time, getting ready for the candidates."
Yeah, no, I can't blame him. Can't blame him at all. But he will need to survive this opening. If Wesley wins this one with black, and then they have a quick draw in the 5+1, if they kind of get another game going, then the prediction's spot on, 5-3.
Mm. Oh, take Bishop E3. I like this for Hikaru, but okay, yeah, D3 is actually hard to defend, huh? King E2, Bishop F5, Rook D1. I guess I'm okay. So I guess.
Hmm.
I guess I'm okay, right? Then knight a3, and how do I defend rook d2, double the rooks? I guess, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, Wesley needs to be really, really quick here before, like you said, White's knight kind of gets to C4, or White plays F3, Rook D1 defends everything. I don't know whether Black plays C4 or is it something with F5. I think he just has to be really, really energetic here, Wesley. But Bishop E7's a bit slow. Now the White Knight's coming.
Just the knight out, knight b3 hits c5. Oh, yeah, he has to go 94 here. I thought he blundered, but
But
no, yeah, 94.
but then C4.
Oh, whoa. Wait a second. Hikaru, head shake, guys. I guess he
Yeah,
got that extra pawn, but it's double.
yeah. If the Black C pawn, if you could kind of move it over to B6, this is just GG. It's just over. But
No,
White has compensation with some Knight B3 ideas. Although Rook D5 will defend everything. Hikaru's in
there it
big
is.
trouble again. He's always a pawn
Mhm.
down with White against Wesley. Third time in a row.
Wesley getting good positions, guys. Like you can't. Wesley is playing great, and even though he's down, he's still playing incredibly well.
No, 2 pawns down. Hikaru, he gave a pawn back. This is clever though. Bishop takes knight is not an easy move to make, right? Like that gives White access on the A file. Do you think he's going to play it?
Yeah, the hard part is how do I defend a7? I guess you go rook a8, but how does rook c4? Yeah, it's very difficult to play this move. But also my bishop's hanging, so take king b6 is the trick, but b4, right? We get pawn b4 in there. So rook a8, king b7, maybe I can play king b7. Rook a5 though. Yeah, there it is. Rook a8, rook a5.
Yeah. Still feels like decent compensation for Hikaru, but he is 2 pawns down. So like even if he wins one back, probably not enough. Like Wesley's going to start playing like f5, f4, start doing stuff on the other flank. This is again, Wesley needs this game. Like otherwise, I don't think we'll see him feeling too confident the rest of the match.
Plus, Hikaru has. You always have the strategy of when I'm up, you just want to milk the clock. So I believe this will be the last game of the 5+1 portion here. He just has to milk the clock. It's his match strategy. Try to get less games in when you're up. So F5 played.
Yeah, difficult for Hikaru now to find moves. Like I'm expecting him to play moves like Rook A5, like you said, maybe Rook A6, put something on C4, and just kind of sit and wait and hope that Wesley can't break through. But Wesley, if he's patient, which he hasn't been so far, then he should be able to get there eventually. Start pushing all the pawns forward. G5, H5, G4. Okay, Rook
He plays Rook
A5
A5.
played.
Yeah, there it is. He's going to try to grab this pawn. Bishop takes.
Yeah, Bishop takes looks very likely. Wesley said, sure, just have it. But Yeah, what do you make? Okay, I was going to say, what do you make of the pure rook endgame? But he keeps the bishops on the board. He says this is actually a weakness. He doesn't actually want to touch until now.
Until now, yeah. Takes bishop b6. There it is. Now, trading. Don't really want to trade. Maybe b4. That's a hard move to play. b4 takes rook to the open file, the d file there. Hikaru with a head shake doesn't like it too much. So where do I go? Maybe bishop d6 hits the pawn, but then bishop d4. Yeah, he's thinking.
Yeah. This is still very difficult. Wesley kind of sold his advantage a little bit, like he sold a pawn, but he does still have big winning chances. Rook endgames, though, we've seen it so many times recently at the World Cup and other events. Like, rook endgames are so hard, like even for the very best in the world. I have a feeling Hikaru might save this somehow.
Yeah. Well, of course, David. You know Deborah Russey's in-game manual on page 572 in the back of the book, in the index and in the appendix part, it says that all rook games are drawn. So, this is probably the same here.
Exactly. That being said, Wesley's done everything right so far. At some point, he might even bring his king forward, king a6, king b5. He waits. Patience is good. Okay, I actually retract my statement. Like, I just saw the clock, and Hikaru is actually down by a minute and a half for the first time. And g4, he's getting nervous now, Hikaru.
Yeah, absolutely. Hoping for a capture here to make some weaknesses, but Wesley doesn't have to do anything with that. And as he says, king a6, I'm going to go walk right towards his bishop and make you move. Well, you have a weak b pawn as well. This could likely be Wesley's game, guys. Chat, what do you think? I mean, chat was there for Wesley before, but last time it didn't work. Last time it was a problem. He drew the game. He was down on time, but roles have reversed. Hikaru was shaking his head down to 40 seconds. There was a 1 second increment here. But again, this could definitely be Wesley's game.
Yeah, he needs it. Rook check. He can bring his king forward. There we go. Now, which way will he take? Will he take with the pawn? No, he goes back with the king. That's very passive, very kind of a safety first approach from Wesley, stopping the white rook getting in, but the black king now loses time. Still good. He's been fantastic in the openings and middle games with Black Wesley. He just needs to put the ball in the back of the net now, score this point. If he converts, it's still a match. If he doesn't, it's so close to over. As our featured chat there, Gokul, is saying. I fully agree.
Let's go. What we saying in the chat here? What we saying?
Now, is it time to go for the B pawn? D4,
yeah, and
maybe.
The timer will be up, guys. That is it. 5+1 is basically officially over here, but we're waiting on this game. Will he win, or will it be a draw?
Big moment. Wesley's going for it now. He tries to break open the center. He's trapped the white rook on the edge of the board. I'm not sure about opening up the white king like this. Now white has counterplay on the other side. Is this where it all goes wrong? Wesley's still got so much time. This is where he needs to stop and think. 1 minute 40. And he's letting it slip again. Now the rook cannot make progress. The white king's too near the pawns. And as soon as the black king steps forward,
too, right? Oh, check too, yeah. That waiting move is nice. But yeah, b3 and then shuffle, rook e4, king f3, and here we go, boys. Here we go, chat.
Hikaru needed to defend his rook because now c5 only move. Wesley finds it. He wins a second pawn. 2 pawns up now.
Takes with the pawn. Rook comes to the center. There it is. Played very quickly. Check. Take the pawn. On g6, he's going to try to queen his g pawn.
Oh, but there we go. Block from Wesley. Really important. And now it's all about the A and B. This is totally winning. Like, black's rook defends the g pawn. He's just going to march up the other side of the board. He has to get this done now. He's done the hard work. Hikaru knows it. You see him on the camera. Now the black king just needs to walk in. Slide in. There we go.
Chat saying, come on, Wesley. Yes. Ooh, chat going crazy. The chat is going nuts right now. They're going nuts for Wesley, aka Flexly. So it should be an easy dub here.
We have a match. Wesley just needs to get his rook to stop the g-pawn. He gives a check. He's probably going to go behind, but he can also even go to the front at the moment. Bring the rook back. The black pawns are too strong, and Wesley wins by resignation. What a game.
Whoa! Wesley on board. Hikaru gets up walks away there. Way to end it on from 5+1 from Wesley's standpoint. That was incredible here as he was able to bounce back with a win. That's going to feel good going into the 3+1 portion. Chat, hey, Wesley got a game. David, he's still in this thing, right?
Yeah, we've got a match on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fantastic win for Wesley So, and Hikaru has looked in top form so far, but now he has something to think about. Bring on the 3+1.
We're back at the Speed Chess Championship, guys. It's going down. The 3+1 portion is here, as you see Hikaru on the screen. Always just, he has some facial expressions. I think, as Danny says, this is probably facial expression number 131. And then look at that 135 there. But always got something to do there, right, David? He's just a busy man.
Exactly. He's expressive. He entertains us. He's got a lot going on. He's been juggling the route to the candidates, his path there. With so much, of course, his streaming and the impending fatherhood that he mentioned in that clip. He's, in the meantime, trying to get the job done against Wesley So. He's done everything right until this last game where finally Wesley was able to break his armor. And now it looks like, I was going to say Hikaru's trying to get back in the zone, and then he yawns.
Hikaru's tired. Oh, man, listen, he already tired. Like, man, I'm ready. What's for lunch? Dude, this is... but of course he has work to do. 3+1 is coming up. He's leading by 2 points here. So, chat predictions. What do you think is going to happen in the 3+1? And I believe, as we all know, as the time gets faster, Hikaru gets stronger in a way. It's how it feels here. Wesley with a quick smile there. He's in good spirits. It's always good to see. Hikaru, on the other hand, something stinks. What is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just wants the break to be over. He wants to get back into the chess, as do we. He'll get his wish very, very shortly. Wesley, in the meantime, looks pretty happy. He's probably happy with the way he's played in general, Wesley, but the finishing technique needs to pick up. And yeah, he's had many promising positions. It feels like 2.5 on the scoreboard doesn't do him justice. 3+1 is going to be maybe where he gets a chance to strike back.
Yeah, of course. It was great to see. I mean, Wesley is just like, he's not blundering one move blunders. He's not getting blown off the board. Maybe that one game that was bad for him was that center game with E4, E5, and D4, and Queen comes out. And Hikaru was able to capitalize on that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, Wesley's been playing very good chess here. He wasn't able to get some chances. If he was able to convert those games he was slightly better in, this would be a completely different score, maybe even closer as the likes of even or 4.5, 3.5. Crazy there's only a 2-point lead here for Hikaru here, because Hikaru's been fighting for these dubs here. One of the wins that he's up was actually that win that Wesley gave the draw away. In fact, it was a draw. He had it in the bag, and he wanted to play on and lost. Here we go. 3-1 is up.
Here we go. We're back to the chess, and just to let you know at home why there was such a long break, it's because Wesley So was playing bullet. He was playing 30-second bullet chess. I think that's why the break was slightly longer than it was planned to be. Nice to see that Wesley can't get enough, James. He just wants more and more.
That's funny. He was like, I need to play some 30-second. And I understand him on that. I am a 30-second player myself. If you have any hyper bullet players in chat, 30-second is quite fun. Absolutely.
And Hikaru very patiently waiting for the games to begin. Maybe he's done some prep in the break, because this Nimzo Indian does look like he's equalized already. Hikaru Nakamura, he was in a bit of trouble earlier in one of the games before turning things around. But who we see, trade of light square bishops. He's playing against White's bishop, which isn't the best piece right now.
Yeah, now who's it looking for? Who you like, white or black?
Oof. I normally like the bishops, but here I would take black. I think this white bishop on c1, the fact he hasn't castled, I get a bit scared in Wesley's shoes. How about you?
I like white because of the extra pawn in the center here, but he's not giving that up. I was like, the knight's hanging, but I like to have that extra pawn in the center. I do like his activity though. C6 was nice. Maybe pawn takes. You might even see a rook C8 there, which is this is really strong stuff. What about rook C8, C7, knight A6? Yeah, I'm giving that pawn up. So I have to get out the way. I don't like white's development, but I do like this extra pawn with E and D in the center.
Great prediction there. The black rook does slide, and now the only question is whether he takes back this pawn with his rook or his knight. Probably he will develop with his knight, still some threats. And if white gets 2 or 3 more moves, those central pawns might become a very important factor. But Hikaru is going to try and slow Wesley down somehow. He takes with the rook instead. He's going to develop his knight next. Hikaru looking a bit distracted. Something happening behind him. Shake of the head, but then he'll try and get back in the zone.
Man, first off, I got where am I moving my queen, David? Maybe queen. Yeah, exactly. There, here, there. Maybe here, maybe there. It's a lot of queen moves. Maybe queen e2 is kind of ugly. Knight c3, queen e1. Like pieces are just kind of strange. Where does he put his queen?
Wesley needs to just move though. Like this is a very long think for a 3+1 game. He suddenly finds himself over a minute down already, and he does play your move. One of the most natural moves in the position, but it cost him a lot of time there. Fair chunk off his clock. Hikaru is just playing easy moves in the meantime, barely thinking. Rook c2 threatened.
Yeah, you got to play rook c1 here. This is like, I mean, you could go knight e1. Man, what a annoying move to play, but knight e1 does stop it. Maybe we could get away with this, I guess. Knight e1, try to play f3, e4, but it feels like it's the wrong way to go.
Yep. Feels bad, but he does trade off rooks, and the danger here is that black's outside majority that Hikaru is now pushing becomes extremely strong. Like c4 looks like a juicy square for a black knight. Question mark given. Hikaru leans in. Has he spotted something? Is there something super strong here for black, or is he just going to keep pushing or maybe improve his knight?
Definitely love the improving of the knight here. Love to improve my pieces as much as possible. Knight to b6 is on the board. Knight a4 or c4 for choice, whichever he'd like. Quick trades.
He's going to get the c3 square for one of his horses. There we go. He jumps in. Oof. Queen c4 maybe. Starting to look a bit scary. Oof. White is in forking distance. Okay, he pushes his pawn forward. Bishop to d2. How is he going to keep the advantage? Yeah, how's he going to keep the advantage now, Hikaru? Very good defense.
Very good defense here. Knight a4. Wesley under a minute. I forgot this is 3. Like sometimes you just forget, David. Like we went from 5+1. You got the extra time. You lollygag. You just breathing. You know, frolicking the flowers. You got time to do stuff. Here you're under a minute, David, already.
Exactly. I think it's just natural to forget for the first game or two, but Wesley needs to remember now and wake up. And e4. It feels like he's playing too slowly. That doesn't really create too many threats. And
Knight b2.
as soon as black's knight e2.
b2.
Oh, that's a cool move. Oh, knight
the other
b2.
one.
Maybe even cooler.
Yeah. Knight b. Yeah. Knight b2.
Oh, that was a threat.
Here we go.
Oh, queen a2 was the only move to keep the advantage. He's still slightly better, Hikaru, but he didn't find a way to clear the path of his pawn. Now his queen and knight are all in the way. Shake of the head.
Definitely head shake there. Takes 6. Knight e2 doesn't work. Knight e2. Knight takes d4, but everything gets traded out and b4 falls.
This pawn is hanging at the end of every line. Does he need to move his queen away? But then there's bishop c1 ideas. It's gone wrong.
Yeah, I can't do anything about that, huh? Knight e2 doesn't work. Head shake under a minute. 1 second increment. Yeah, I guess you just trade and say, all right, you got this one. Draw.
Yeah. Probably Hikaru will give a check, take this pawn, and let everything get traded off. Yeah. No point risking it now. Level on the clock. He does move his queen out of the way. He's going for gold. Hikaru is going to have to contort his knights now, though. This is an awkward pin. He shakes his head. Missed that one.
Chances though, b3 kind of annoying. b3 queen a1 ideas, you know, with low time. Oh yeah, this is super practical.
Let's go. d5 b3. It's a race. Wesley
Queen
needs to
check.
move his queen.
Tempo. King h7. Take. Probably take and perpet. Queen c5. Force a queen trade, but maybe wrong after knight d3 b2.
Yeah. To check or not to check is the question. Or does he just move his bishop out the way? He does get those off the board.
It's all happening. b2. Wait, he might go knight c3. There it is. Oh my goodness. Is this a draw steal?
Just in time to win the pawn for the bishop. And 4 pawns versus 2. I think it should be a draw, but this could easily go in black's favor, right? Like, if Wesley can't trade off black's remaining 2 pawns, he might be suffering. long term.
And this game could go forever too. Like if he gets all the pieces or whatever. Wait, has he made it? Hold on,
Oh,
bro.
nearly mated. If he'd gone king h3, there would have been a beautiful knight f2 mate. That would have been. Oh, he's walked into it. He's
Oh,
walked into a
D5!
mate.
Oh my goodness, it's made anyway. Get that off the board. It's a family channel, David. They got it off the board. We got kids watching this. That was gross.
Wow. Wow, Wesley walked into a mate into a pawn checkmate is so rare in chess. But he could have gone to h5 and survived a bit longer, Wesley. But panicking. We did say it could go in any direction, and then, wow, those knights are tricky pieces.
That was ridiculous. What a mate. Anything can happen. Anything can and will happen in this time control and also in when low time is like that. Incredible.
Just crazy. And Wesley, yeah, maybe that's why he was playing 30-second bullet, because he knew he needed to kind of shape up, needed to get up to speed to match Hikaru, but Hikaru is just so fast and so tricky. It's going to be difficult as we see another double fianchetto Reti here.
Yeah, that was incredible. Still rough after that one. My goodness, man, gotta shake it off after that one. If I'm Wesley here and try to keep playing on. Love the double fianchetto. I think White has done very good in these positions, especially when Hikaru has done. It's something that I actually adopted myself with this knight of 3b3. It's flexible. You got a lot of ways to go with it here. Even Eval Bar definitely likes black, but it's his pieces are developed. It is a game. Play c4 when you want, rook c1, queen e2, rook f to d. Go both ways. It's a lot to do. I definitely like the flexibility, but black is okay.
Yeah. Black is totally fine, really nicely centralized. Hikaru is going for the bishop pair, but other than that, Wesley's position is looking very, very harmonious. White's pawn on g4 can be hit now by h5 according to the blue arrow. I was going to say it kind of sticks out a little bit in the white position, so that's probably a very findable move. What else is the question for Wesley So?
H5, really? Would you play H5 there, David? H5.
I would think about it.
It's
I would probably chicken out after thinking about it for way too long. But D4, double question mark. What's wrong with that one? Is Hikaru just going to take that pawn?
Oh, I guess it's just hanging out. I guess it's just hanging out. Take and knight, take, 96. But, well, I guess it's just hanging. Let's see. Any reaction from Wesley? Nothing. Okay.
Now Hikaru just brings his knight back, defends the pawn. It's the first time he's been up a pawn in ages in his white games. It's normally the other way around.
And Hikaru here with the face is like, I don't know, this isn't correct. But, I mean, you can see White has some very good potential in the center with c4, backing the bishop up, playing d5, really just pressuring. Or you're going to have to force bishop takes f3 there. In fact, after c4, knight takes. I have both the bishops. I got a very strong center and a big pawn. I'm feeling great here if I am Hikaru.
Yeah, there's one square for black. If the white pawn was back on g3, it would just be over. White would have bishop pair and an extra pawn. But how does Wesley use this square? Does he jump in now, or does he wait?
Great question. Knight f4, queen e4, take on g2, king takes. I mean, you can hope for the best.
Queen e3, the choice. Probably same thing. Have to take that bishop. And b5, okay. He's going to try and clamp down. He's going to try and make c4 unappealing. Now there would be a capture and black would go hunting for that pawn with knight to a5. So, okay, he slowed things down. At least there's a pin as well in the center. It's not the worst pawn to be down in this position. Pressure on the c-file.
With the edge. You always be like, what happened? You know, oh, I played so terrible. I had this line that was made in 11. Like, oh, okay. Sorry, bro. Sorry, I feel sorry for you, bro. Rook f to d1. I mean, double the rooks. Very likely. Easy move.
Yeah. Black's next move will be knight to e7. He's coming back round. He's used one knight on f4. He wants the other one there, so he's going to play knight e7 followed by knight d5 if given the opportunity. But Hikaru is setting up c4 next. Shaking his head. He's only up 3 points. He's not happy with it. But c4. And
Gotta
tension.
get off this pin. Queen b7 super annoying. Queen e2 defending b2. It's a question mark here.
Crazy.
What was it?
Was it e5? Was it e5 there?
Oh,
The ideas of
e5
e4?
e5 d5. And then was there E4 anyway or something?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Hmm,
Black could have struck in the
interesting.
center. Maybe after taking on c4 first, just to open up the
Hmm.
b file.
Oh, then E4. Oh my goodness, and B2's hanging. Wow, incredible.
But easy for us with the eval bar. Difficult,
Hmm.
almost impossible in a blitz game with no time to think. E5 is a very unnatural type of move. But okay, Hikaru realizes there's some disharmony. He drops back his rook. And he just gets his king out of the way, defending everything.
Everything defended. And the question is, how do I deal with the sort of hanging pawn structure? Well, now it's hanging pawns. C4 and D4, as they call the hanging pawn structure. D5 played. Very critical break. A lot of tactics is about to happen here. There's like takes, queen B2 check, playing C5. I mean, how do we deal with it? He does take. Take on G7 likely. Queen B2 probably. Or D4. I mean E5.
Yeah. Either way, the black queen could block if she wants some
Yeah.
checks.
Kind of
Probably
annoying,
going to fizzle out. Probably going to be equal, but slightly awkward for Hikaru with this pin maybe. He plays g5 to stop the black queen swinging over, but that does give up the f5 square for a black knight.
huh? Wesley have time. 27 seconds.
Good
Hold
move,
on
queen
now.
g8.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, this knight coming around the corner.
Ooh. Queen e6 was difficult, but it would have been consistent with Wesley's match strategy to try and get the queens off, to try and simplify at every opportunity. Queen e6. He allows en passant instead. He forgot that that's an automatic pre-move. G takes h6.
Oh, en passant is auto. I forgot that's force. Yeah, he had to play that.
It's
I
forced.
was forced. That is correct.
That's still in the air. This is scary.
Queen five anyway.
Ooh.
Hold on, boys and girls. I mean, it has to be played. Like you just play it. He has no time to as well. There it is. Knight f6. He's just running away. What Wesley out here? Strong nerves there, Wesley.
Wow, very strong nerves, but maybe he has gone wrong now. He's no longer up a pawn. And yeah, white. It's actually white up a pawn right now still. And e6 is hanging. This h6 pawn hard to get rid of. Oh, he's taking it. A knight
Oh,
check. Knight
yeah. Knight
check.
f6 to
Oh.
e8 was pretty clean. It's okay.
Oh.
They're on time, on seconds.
Still up a pawn though, Hikaru. He saw a safe route. Like he saw a safe move. He couldn't resist the temptation to just centralize his knight. Can't blame him at all for that. 5 seconds for Wesley again, who drops another pawn. It's now 4 versus 2. Desperately trying to find some counterplay, but he gets his knight back,
Six check.
Hikaru.
G5. Hit the rook. There it is. Now rook e7. Rook f6. I mean, you could. The same
Yeah.
idea. Hit the knight.
Okay. He's going to try and take the black d pawn to remove any counterplay. And oh, Wesley
Oh, what happened?
flags.
Oh, he flagged. Oh,
Wow.
flagged. We all forgot. I think everybody forgot. Literally everyone just forgot, and he had no time.
Yeah, it was a tough position, but that's not good news, James. That's going to hit his confidence, Wesley. So, like, he's losing on the board, but also on the clock, and you need your chances somewhere, especially as we're going to be heading to the 1+1 eventually. That is very bad news for Wesley. So now 4 points behind.
Yeah, good points, David. And Hikaru is now up a 4-point lead, guys. Probably Market has him with an 18% chance to win the SCC. And I think the chances he makes it to the live finals are actually a lot higher. Will we see him in the live finals? What do you guys think? Or does Wesley have a chance? It's incredible.
Yeah, those odds, the poly market odds, showing that Hikaru was the favorite beforehand, but he's making it look easy. He's stopped Wesley from really kind of getting ahead of steam. That win at the end of the 5+1 was so important for Wesley, but couldn't back it up. And okay, this is another chance maybe. Given a question mark, Hikaru's last move. Does the white knight just centralize some pressure on the e-file? Feels like this has gone a bit wrong. Knight takes bishop doesn't necessarily improve black's chances because white gets so much central control. This looks like a dream.
I like this. I mean, and I like the opening choice too. Like I had one Drempowski game OTB that I won, which was nice. Like it felt good, first time. It's a fun opening, but if you don't get what you want out of the opening, not so fun anymore. And I think Wesley has achieved that. Pretty nice. We might have to see like a weird move from Hikaru, like Bishop E6. Maybe you could go E6, but the Bishop is really bad on c8 there. Queen a4 check. Queen. Yeah, I thought this idea was nice, but yeah, there's bishop e6. So now you get the knight around the c5.
Yeah, very natural. All of White's pieces are perfectly placed. They're coming in, easy to find improving moves. And Black castles, Hikaru gave up a pawn. Wesley didn't even think about taking it, jumping in with his knight instead. Very impressive, but now the bishop can move and has to move.
It's kind of annoying. Maybe knight e5 there with the threat of hitting the bishop. Bishop to f5. I could take on f6 though. Oh, there's some cool threats. There's like some exchange sacrifices, I guess, available. Knight e5 played. Bishop back to c8. No exchange for you. Wait, he can do it. Takes, knight d7.
Yeah, he
But he
probably
wins some
will.
pawns. Yeah.
At the end, the black queen would take the d4 pawn, and white would be the exchange up. He's waiting, Wesley. I liked your move, though. I think I would have gone for exactly what you mentioned there, because now the opportunity's gone. Bishop takes knight, and knight to d7 is the line James was mentioning. But rook to d8. The bar does rise, though, in white's favor. Why could that be?
Look at these knights on e5 and c5 are vicious. You know, those knights are incredibly annoying. So I like the sit and wait method here from Wesley right now. Just trying to improve h3, maybe rook e3, double the rooks, like just find something to do. Usually double center pawns aren't the greatest, but it depends on how you use them and what's going on. And in this case, those double center pawns are really strong. Whoa, that pawn is hanging, no? What? It must be a trap. Like knight f3? Oh my goodness, David. That is
That
gross.
That is gross. I'll just very quickly put it on the board. This tactic. This is not Hikaru's move. Queen takes pawn would lose the queen to knight f3, trapping her in the center. This would be incredible. And we see in the live board, Hikaru hasn't fallen for this. That's rare, right? Like that pattern, the queen trapped on her own in the center with so many potential squares but can't use them. That is beautiful. But Hikaru is probably going to dodge that and centralize instead. There we go.
There's a little trap there. Wesley with the traps. That was nice, Wesley.
Yeah. If that was 1+1, it might have worked. If that was bullet.
Yeah, yeah.
3+1,
Yeah.
Hikaru, smelt the rat.
Right. Yeah. F6 is a threat now. Okay, Hikaru starting to push him back a little bit.
He has to find a new angle. Wesley So he's coming round with the bishop. Maybe this direction. I don't like the knight on a4. It needs to go back at some point, but now it's going to get hit. It feels like he just wanted to set that one move trap, and maybe worsened his own position in the process.
Yeah, you might have to try knight to c3 to go to b5, provoke a weakness with a6 in the dark squares, and then go back to a4, so that it's a little bit harder here. But bishop f4, ideas of knight something. Queen f6 stops it, so he has to move the bishop, but where?
Hikaru is
H2.
so clever at maneuvering. Now the black knight's going to come out, though.
Yeah.
Weaknesses. Not easy. H5 first.
H5. Okay. H5 action. H5 here. It's actually, I did not expect this at all, David, with H5. Maybe he might go G5, G4, believe it or not. Like, knowing him.
Yeah. I guess it also just stops knight g4 in any lines. Like now that the black knight blocks the light square bishop, knight g4 might have been an idea. Not anymore. He's sneaking out though. Like b6 would kind of stick this knight on the edge of the board for a while. Bishop h6 first. Hikaru is outplaying Wesley.
And there's a G5.
We'll move g5.
Yeah, you can just feel that. You feel that coming. Like G5 and G4 is definitely very possible. So knight c5 hits a b7, but I don't really care about that. I do want to double the rooks. Put a bishop on e5, but he goes queen c6 on. Nothing with bishop c7, no tricks, nothing. Dang. There we go, Wesley. It's just it's fun to see. Oh, G4. Like, what did it do? I mean, really, like, not a lot, but G4.
Yeah, it did drive the black knight away from protecting e7 here, but it does also hang g4. Does Wesley take this pawn? He does. That's so high risk. Now the white king's never ever going to be safe. The black knight also has f5. Wesley's going all in. It feels like he really wants the win here. And whoa, he's trapped his own rook. All the pieces getting trapped in this game.
I think it was a great choice to go for this line, but at the same time, and it's just because of the time and situation. Anything can happen right now. Knight takes d7, or maybe rook takes. Yeah, rook takes. Hikaru shake looks away for a second there. Whoa, Rook takes d6. No, block.
Yeah, the tactic's not quite working there for Hikaru, not quite working for Wesley, and he sacrifices. We'll likely see everything getting exchanged off now, and Hikaru makes a bit of a face. Maybe feeling he could have had more, probably should have had more, but if anyone's better, it's still Hikaru, due to the white double D pawns. Still big weaknesses there. Black has 2 versus 1 on the king side, but this might be the idea to draw. And okay, bishop versus knight endgame. Who are you taking?
That's a good question. Okay, without the bar, I mean, I gotta take black because of the knight. It's just annoying. It's always, yeah. You see how he's about to snatch some of these pawns up. It's super annoying. Knight is just a stupid piece in the end game when you don't have it. In fact, when you have it, okay.
Ooh,
Sacrifice.
Got it trapped though. Got it trapped.
Would have taken the knight anyway though. Push the pawn around. Wait, we gotta be careful not to lose this.
It's turning around. This is so similar to the game that Wesley So lost and got knocked out of at the World Cup, where his opponent had an extra bishop, he had the pawns. Almost a mirror image, and therefore he knows how to get the job done. The bishop's going to wait. The white king's going to work its way past the black king, and here we go. The b4 pawn will survive.
There's nothing you can do. And bishop back to f8, and wow, Hikaru mad about that one. Throws his hand up in the air. He's talking, come on, I had that. You know, and just fed up with himself, guys. Whoa. But it's still a 3-point lead.
Yeah, that was the first time that Wesley's managed to hang with Hikaru in a mutual time scramble and turn the tables, take the win. That is very important for Wesley So, for his confidence. And we're back to this opening again. We've been here before, but this time with a pawn on g4 for Hikaru. He looks like he's a bit angry now. He's being more aggressive.
Yeah, you don't like me when I'm angry. Angry Hikaru is a scary Hikaru, guys. Be very careful. But, of course, Wesley has to play. He has to win. Castle Queenside, I love it. This is the type of chess we was trying to see earlier, David. We finally got it.
Yeah, and the tilt might be real. Hikaru's walked into the same kind of tactic with the queen on a6 that he blundered earlier, where he lost a pawn. But now the white king is a sitting duck here. It's a sitting target. b5, b4, maybe even d4 to block that side of the board. This looks fantastic for black, whose king is very safe.
His king is very safe with the pieces and the pawns in front of it. You know, you got pawns on d5, e6, f7, knights around the and the bishop around the king, and then even casting kingside, you'd be okay too as well. Bishop on g6 defends quite well. You can't necessarily break through with a g5 because I'll play h5, right? Smiling king there. That king is very cool, calm, and collected, sitting there, letting his pieces do all the work for him.
Yeah, I do fear Hikaru slowing down. It just feels like he was a bit tilted at the beginning of this game, blitzed everything out, and only now realizes the danger in store for the white king. Shaking his head now, Hikaru.
So the question is, what happens on b4? You go c4, and if c4, you go d4. 93. Could be sacking on d5 at the right moment with an e6 to follow. But it has to be correct. It has to be correct.
Oof, d4. Hikaru needs to sack something now. Like going back with like knight g2 or knight f1 just feels really sad, really wrong. The white king's going to come under heavy fire soon.
Chad, is Hikaru tilted, Chad? What do you think is going to happen here? Okay, knight g2, knight b4, bishop b3. I guess he's okay, but he is worse. Is a knight coming to c5? Whoa, look at the bar. Oof. Knight b3, played a3 instead. Bishop b3, there was knight c5. Jeez.
Probably just keep things simple. Take this off. Put a rook on c8. Put a knight on c5. He goes back, Wesley So. He is threatening bishop takes a3 with a nasty fork. But, yeah, maybe there was something even better there. Still looking good for black, though.
Gotta get out the way. He played bishop b3. Okay, I like it. The defense. I was gonna go bishop c1. Like, you know what? Just defend everything. This is not looking good. Nah, I got myself in a bad position here. Tilted momentarily, but he'll be back, says Binding Vector in chat. That is a likely Hikaru, especially when time is low. If you don't put him away, he will bounce back. So, yeah. Wesley was able to do that, though. In the last game, he feels good. Seems a little bit calmer here. Kind of tilting Hikaru. So, something to be proud of. But can he convert?
Wesley making some slightly odd decisions, like queen b7, given a question mark, but understandably, like the queen was quite good on a6. lined up some b4 ideas, was hitting the d3 pawn. Yeah, d4 is now hanging. I could easily see this turning around in Hikaru's favor if Wesley can't generate the right type of attack. He needs to jump on Hikaru while Hikaru is a bit tilted, but that tilt never lasts long. Everyone gets tilted in these blitz matches. Trust me, I've been there, played so many online. But Wesley, he needs to take this moment. The advantage is gone. He's actually down a pawn, Wesley. f4's coming.
F4 is really strong with the f5 idea. It's going to shut that bishop down. And then we have that opposite color, or opposite side, queen side, king side, opposite side castles guide. So f4, f5, everything 5. Okay, bishop hits the knight. We got to play what? Knight b5? That's another pawn. He goes f5 anyway, though. Allowing bishop takes d4. We take on g6. He doesn't say, whoa.
Ooh,
is it really that bad? Knight b5? My knight's hanging right now. Like, I'm not going to sack this, am I? Okay, out the way.
Out the way. It's one of those positions. It's so difficult. Like b4, blue arrow appears again. Best move by a distance, apparently, but not easy at all. And Wesley plays an equally natural move, takes a pawn back. And now we see the black bishop somewhat blocked. Some open lines towards the black king. James, who are you taking? Who's going to make the last mistake? I think that's
yeah. White here, it definitely feels like I'm not able to break through yet with black. If you play b4, I go a4. If you go a4, okay, it's a little slow. Knight f4 was a really strong move. My bishop opens up, takes, rook g1. You see sacking possibilities really fast right now. Rook takes g7, queen h5. Like it's there, and it's very fast. But you have to play maybe d4 too to shut down the bishop on c5. So I think Hikaru is faster by like a hair, a move. It feels like 1 or 2 moves, he's a little bit faster, I believe.
Exactly. Eval Bar says it's basically level, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like someone's going to get checkmated, or someone's going to have to kind of face a blunder and a mistake. Knight takes knight is played by Wesley. He does hit the bishop, but now he needs that next breakthrough on that queen side near the white king. Knight to d5 played. He's played really well here. Tempo chess, hitting the bishop now.
Yeah.
Rook defends and b4 automatic. Here we go.
I like what you mentioned, tempo chess. It's about that tempo, the pace. How fast can you get the things going? Wow. Yeah, and it looks like Wesley, he missed there. Man, what did he miss actually? What was it, a3? That's kind of crazy to play, David.
a3 would have been crazy. Just to go back one moment. Oh, let's not even go back. Let's stay here for now. But it was to do with a3 type of ideas and breaking through on the b file. That would have been incredible. But now it's good for black again. Can he play g5 and try to crack open this diagonal? He just needs to land one check and it's mate. Hikaru's blundered that.
Yeah, Hikaru's like, what am I doing? I missed it, Chad. I'm throwing. Rook g1, he could try it. Rook d3. Takes. And it looks like Wesley on a 2-game heater, Chad? What you think about that, though? We're the Wesley fans in chat. Whoa, 2-game heater. That could definitely change some of the game. Yeah, Hikaru's still up. But a 2-game heater?
Yeah. And 2 games and counting. There's still plenty left in the 3+1 portion. We see the timer on the top left of your screens. And yeah, he's done everything right, Wesley. So the power of the bishops, like that dormant bishop was the key. Forced white to give up a piece. Now the other black bishop cuts across the board. Rook's coming in. This is over. Wesley should be converting this now without any fuss, even with his clock ticking.
He does get that 1 second increment here.
Ooh. The bar for a second jumped up, but Wesley's getting the job done. Watch out,
There is
mate.
a mate. There is a mate. Okay. Ooh. He got away. All right, everybody breathe. Everybody breathe. He got away.
So scary, though. He escapes, and now a rook check, and it's the white king that's actually going to find itself mated, and Wesley So takes the win. It was about to be mate in 1. Double check there from the bishop, and 2-game streak. Wesley is alive in the match.
Wesley on a 2-game heater, big flexly so. He's going to flex after that one as they are going on a short break in a minute, guys. But after that, Wesley's feeling, look at the quick smile. Like, yes, he's feeling a lot better here. Hikaru's still sitting there figuring out how I should have got it done. But guys, you see that Wesley So on a 2-game heater here, David. That's incredible for Wesley and his confidence.
Exactly. He did it just before a break earlier in the match. He wasn't able to come back and continue that momentum. Now he really needs to hammer down. He needs to keep winning. He's still 2 points behind. Hikaru, though, needs to stop the tilt. We said it in the opening. Hikaru, that was a bit self-inflicted. But he's going to now try and reset. And we'll reset when we're back. More 3+1 ahead.
David, that's kind of funny, huh? He's like, yeah, I love 5+1, but 3+1 is my strongest there. And then he doesn't like the 1+1 there, but that is coming up, David. What do you think?
Yeah, that is not good news for Wesley if he's still behind after the 3+1 portion, that he'll be facing Hikaru in Bullet 1+1 in his least favorite format, needing to catch up. Wesley said it himself, though. He's very self-aware. 5+1 is his favorite, but he actually does better in 3+1. 5+1, he lost by 2 points. He's still on level footing in the 3+1. And yeah, if he can build on that, if he can keep the momentum on his side, then we have a proper match in our hands. It's going to be very close until the last few battles. Still just 2 points behind Wesley.
He's like so self-aware, too. He said, yeah, 3+1 is my strongest. I don't know how. And then he just 2-0s Hikaru here, or at least gets those 2 back-to-back wins in 3+1 here. Like, he's just a man of his word, 100% true to the game. So we still got chess left, though, and Hikaru is going to have to bounce back. Maybe that little break there probably sometimes saves you, or at least stops the bleeding, as they say, when you lose a few games in a row.
Definitely. It felt like if we had kept going, maybe the tilt would have continued for Hikaru. Both players have done their prep in the meantime. We go back to the center game, and here we see Hikaru trying to land an early fork on C2, defended by the white bishop, and Wesley looks like he's getting set now. A bit of a pause, a bit of a refocus. I'm expecting this bishop to come out. He wants to get castled queenside. Question is whether it goes the whole way to h6, which is a very tempting move here, or whether it just steps forward to like e3. He did something similar earlier. f4, d2. James, again, it's one of those openings that backfired last time, but could work very well if Wesley can find the right moves.
Yeah, I actually am a fan of like some bishop G. He went bishop h6. I was like h6 or g5. He went the h6 route. It just gives him a nice tempo here to castle queenside. Mate in one, guys. Don't blunder the mate.
Hikaru sees it. He defends g7 with his knight. And now the question is where the queen goes. Does it step across? It goes up to g5. The eval bar doesn't really approve. And we find ourselves in a queenless middle game. All that potential squashed in one move. No more kingside attack for white. No more queenside attack for black. It's looking level now.
Yeah, very, very quiet now, I think, from this point. Now we just develop our pieces, get castled, and hope for the best, as we do have, it's 3+1, 17 minutes to go here. It's going to be a long game, I believe, in this one. Black has out prospects of like d5 next. He can take the bishop pair, knight takes d3 when he's ready to. So black's probably for a choice, maybe slightly, but especially being able to grab that bishop pair when you kind of want. But very even.
Yep. And there's been a trend I've noticed. Like players, both of these two are struggling with white. Like Wesley was trying some Nimzos, didn't really get anywhere. Hikaru was equalizing easily. Hikaru won a couple of games. Then he's tried the center game. He lost painfully. Wesley, like now, okay, it's totally fine, but nothing special. When Hikaru's had white, those weird Sicilians with c3, bishop d3, bishop c2, Hikaru keeps getting these horrible positions in those. Maybe they just need to equalize with white and just win with black. That's the plan.
Like the Prague talk. In fact, or the Dubov Prague, right, where the famous clip here going around. It's like, draw with white or play equal with white and win with black, which is the other way around in a way. It's very interesting. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, because Hikaru was getting very bad positions with that Sicilian he was using. So maybe he'll switch it up. Can't wait to see what happens in the next game too as well, because this one already I'm falling asleep here, David. I am about to take a quick nap and be back when this game is over.
Yeah, it might be over very soon, because right now, I was going to say, Hikaru, if he wanted a draw, would have played the move knight to b4. That would have repeated the position 3 times, and we would have been out of here onto the next game. But Hikaru is the one who wants to play for a win. Very interesting. He's allowing bishop takes knight, which would shatter pawns, but okay, it does actually happen. It's all about the e4 pawn, and Hikaru is going to try and break out. Bishop pair versus pawn structure. Which you taking here?
I really like the bishop pair. I'm not gonna lie, bishops are very sharp when you got open positions and etc. Definitely love myself a bishop pair. maybe taken
Hmm.
away. Actually, to take yeah, you got both the bishops versus the knights opening game. Yeah, I'm definitely liking Black's chances here, but using the knights, that's a strong move. Maybe we have to take on d4, and then White could be pushing for a little bit more.
Yeah, Hikaru shaking his head. That was all going well until that last move. He walked into a double attack, c6 pawn, f5 bishop, and now he's gone back, and he might be forced to part with those bishops, as you mentioned. The black bishop is far from home. Knight c5 is going to be a nasty jump. Suddenly, Wesley's got those tempo moves we were talking about, and he's got the advantage. Big one now.
Rook e1, will you take back? Bishop takes. Yeah, I mean, White just has the better structure. Same pawns, better structure. You do take White here, bishop pair gone. So kind of misplayed from Hikaru here, or played very well from Wesley, however you look at it.
Yeah, bit of both. And the white king is nearer as well. It's more centralized. Big threat of f5. That is stopped now, since the white knight can go back and defend its rook. Very clever from Wesley. And this is a Wesley So type of position. More quiet, doesn't need to do anything special, can grind away, risk-free. He
What
should
happened, David?
be...
David Wesley just locked in this format. Like 3+1 is all Wesley right now. Now, of course, he's still down 2 games, and it's a long shot to say anything about him winning this game. But he's just been better. He's been playing better in this. He won 2-0 Hikaru. He's feeling good. He's better in this position. Still a long way to go, but he is better. What do you think happened, David?
I don't know. We just need to re-interview him, right? We need to ask him again. Do you still like 5+1? It feels like his back was against the wall. He had nothing to lose, and suddenly, like, he brought his best self. And I will mention that's not the first time Wesley's done that. There have been finals in Champions Chess Tours where he's losing to Magnus, and then suddenly he knows he's about to get knocked out, so he just starts going forward, risk-free, stops overthinking, and he takes some important wins. He's done everything right. Oh, beautiful night now. Wesley, I think he's going to get 3 in a row.
Wesley 3 in a row. Hikaru, has that even happened in this? Is that? I mean, maybe let's get some stats. I'm sure maybe Magnus. Like I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe it's happened Veruja or something. I don't know. Right, but it's a very rare sighting to say the least. Right, where he gets 3-0 in not Bullet. Bullet is obviously streaky. Things can happen, but in a blitz, a longer time format, 3-0, it's possible here. But will it happen? Time is getting low for Wesley.
Yeah, time getting low for Wesley, but at least he has easy moves. Big threat for white is to just go up with the knight to b7. That's why he locked the black a5 pawn. He's just going to try and win it. Just gobble up those pawns, and Hikaru's seeking counterplay desperately, but doesn't have much of a way forward now. The black bishop drops back. Knight to b7, I'm expecting. He goes back via c4. And, okay, Hikaru's trying to knuckle down on the king side to try and create a pass pawn there. Pawn up, though, for Wesley should still be a big favorite.
Yeah, it's definitely nice as we can push his own pass pawns, as he says, trying to create something, maybe c4 at some point too, try to push b5, try to get this pass pawn on the c file. There it is. Takes, and now c4, c5 is his idea at some point. There it is.
That was a better way forward for Hikaru. He could have gone via the other route, take and b6, so he could pin and win the pawn with a6. Suddenly Hikaru, low on time, needs to move, keeps the rooks on the board, but now the knight is jumping.
And talking to himself. It's how one thing if you watch a lot of Hikaru, right, when he starts talking to himself, he's very annoyed. You might have something. Rook takes. Is this going to be a third game, chat? Third game in a row for Big Flexley? Wow, this will be a 1-game lead.
Yeah, he's totally winning now, Wesley. So he's got those 2 connected passes, and watch out, there's a checkmate. If the white king moves, the black king needs to get out of there. f4 closes the door, wins the black rook. Hikaru looks so annoyed. This is it.
Big Flexley. This is incredible. A 1-game lead. He was down 3 games. Hikaru is angry, and Wesley, no emotion here. Next game, run it up. We still got time. 3+1, my favorite time control. I'm in within 1 game of this entire match here. Wesley is proving himself right now. Speedchess Championship 3+1. He's doing incredible.
Yeah, and those predictions we see on our screens, they're starting to change slightly. Hikaru is still the favorite, 1 point up, but yeah, he's also changed up the opening. He's played h3 in this system just to prevent this really annoying bishop g4 pin we've seen in every one of Hikaru's white games. And we see a very congested board right now. What do you think of those predictions? Are they coming true, James? Do you think we'll see Hikaru steady the ship and still go on to win, or is momentum now turned permanently?
I, I think everything decided is going to be decided right here, and the reason why I say that is Bullet is automatic Hikaru. Even we all know how good Hikaru is in all formats, but definitely Bullet is just he's another level. It's different. It's just completely different. And then, but Wesley even stating himself is not his best format. He doesn't really like 1+1. So even having that psych behind him of like, I know I don't like this format. I'm also facing a guy that really likes this format, right? So 1+1 is definitely his wheelhouse, Hikaru's. So really, if I'm Wesley, I need to run it up here. I won 3 in a row. Can we make it 4? Can we make it 5? We don't even focus on that. Just focus on the board and see if these numbers can really, catapult me and try to hang with Hikaru in the 1+1, and maybe even Armageddon if possible, type of thing. So, Wesley just keep doing what he's doing here. I think. What do you think, David?
Yeah, don't change a thing, Wesley. Keep doing exactly this, making it positional, taking small strategic advantages. He's got a big advantage, +1 for black, despite the level material, because these pawns are so weak. And Hikaru is so desperate, he's even giving up this pawn right now just to try and get his knight into d5. And maybe he could have taken the pawn, Wesley, but there we go. Bishop takes knight, the only way to limit the damage. And yeah, momentum's definitely on Wesley's side. 2 bishops now. Throw the knight into c4, centralize the rooks. Imagine if he wins 4 in a row against Hikaru. Hikaru, like the tilt would be incredible. It will be so hard to bounce back from that.
Absolutely. This is one of those, Magnus table slams where, you push F on the keyboard. I think on chess.com it does the table slam thing, which is cool. But also, this would be, Hikaru doesn't lose that many games in a row like that. So look at that. Knight takes c5. Look at him just angry, not happy with what's going on here. And when you can get Hikaru there, you are feeling really good. But you still have to finish the job here. This is not over at all. But Wesley, 3-point lead or 3-point 3 in a row, not a 3-point lead. Let's get that straight here. Wesley's definitely in Hikaru's head.
Yeah, and not for the first time in this match. Wesley is a pawn up again with black. It keeps happening. It's just about whether he converts it. He's been doing a better job at converting those advantages. The killer instinct has definitely been rediscovered for Wesley So. Candidate moves now would be to slide the rook behind to try and win this pawn. There we go. Maybe one of the most obvious. At some point, the black bishop can drop back to double down the pressure. And it might be the A pawn that decides. Trick there from Hikaru, attacking the queen,
Definitely.
which will probably move.
Yeah, I like this move. Knight d5. I definitely was spotting this. See if he can, get away with this. See what's the next move. Let's see if like a queen b7. I was assuming queen b7 would happen. And then if you trade everything out on c6, I guess a3 falls. But knight d5 is a tricky move. There's even like knight b4 to take back on c6. So he's creating some stuff.
Yeah. Very, very good defense there from Hikaru. And he slowed Wesley down. Wesley lost a lot of time over the last 5-6 moves here. And he's down under the 1 minute mark. And the bar is rising. White's knight is super strong. Any knight on c6 always. There's so much forking potential. And bishop f8 stops that. Hikaru, I don't think he'll want to take this pawn. He walks into the line of fire there. But probably he'll move his queen. Actually, not so many squares. Either back or forward. Hikaru with the faces.
Yeah, Hikaru with the faces, yeah. Hikaru with the faces there. I mean, sometimes, yeah, queen b6. Okay, gets out of the way. Knight takes e5, still a threat. Does he go back with bishop d7 or bishop to d6? Bishop d6, maybe rook d1 first before capturing, but maybe just take on e5. E5 is still hanging. F6, that's an annoying move to play, but it does stop knight takes e5 temporarily.
Yeah, f6 is probably the most ambitious move, but it's super risky. Wow, rook takes f3, Wesley So, and Hikaru pauses. He talks to himself. He doesn't take back immediately. Maybe he's going to play knight takes e5, fork the queen and rook. And the white pawn structure doesn't get ruined. Wesley, has he missed this one?
Yeah, I think he missed that one. Rook f3, I was definitely contemplating too. I liked it. Rook takes f3 because the idea is obviously bishop h3, and it's messy. But this 95, he just completely missed because after the queen moves away, knight takes rook, and I'm clean. I'm clean here. Not over, obviously, because we have the pass pawn and the 2 bishops, but I have the exchange.
Yeah, and with the clock situation, look at that. 9 seconds, 8 seconds against 1.5 minutes. This is danger time for Wesley So. He's not going to win this game. It's not going to be 4 in a row for him. But it's just a case of whether he can hold on. If he survives, then we still have a very, very tense match. But Hikaru is getting the job done, it looks like.
That's a good move. Wait a second. How do I... Wait a second. Rook B5. Take. Push knight C3. Okay, maybe I can do that. Maybe. Yeah, Rook B5 is good.
Great move. Still not easy. B3, knight C3. Now there would be bishop B4 ideas.
Stupid bishops, right? Yeah, like, bishops.
Ooh. He had some really sneaky moves there, Wesley. So he could have played B3, knight C3, bishop A3. But he didn't see it. Now he's getting smoked. Back to B8.
Oh, he's on 1 second there, too.
Oh.
He moving instant. This instant moves here. Instant moves.
He's already lost on time in one game this match. Wesley shakes his head. He's dropped his pawn. Surely the end now. Hikaru.
That's
Too fast. Wesley loses on time.
Yeah, if you're Hikaru here, one thing you do, especially we've all been on that side where you lose a few games in a row. Once you get that, you just win one and you're like, okay, breathe. Oh, man, you feel a little bit better, and then you say, you know what, next game I need to play way better. And I think that's what Hikaru is going for here. Now it's a 2-game lead. I mean, if Hikaru would have lost that one, it would have been a complete change, I think, in the trajectory of the match. This is all theory too, right?
This is all theory. Yeah, this is the Vienna game. This has all been played before. Still plenty of games in the chess.com database from this position. Black often plays the move bishop d7, and it's a weird pawn structure. I've always thought that this is super high risk for white just because e5 is isolated. You've got double pawns on the c file. So I'm surprised Wesley's gone for this. Hikaru knows his stuff. He's got to be careful to hold on to equality here, Wesley. People are struggling with white. That's at least from the opening stage. That's the moral of the story.
You just got to play Jobavas, David. Like, that's it. Just play Jobava London. Like, you'll be straight, man. That's it. Mix it up a little bit.
Exactly.
Or some Catalans, like, boring chess, like you be playing, David. You know that Catalan
you know me.
stuff.
Boring's my middle name, James.
Right, man. That Catalan stuff is pretty good, though.
Okay, and Wesley, it's level pawns, but he's fighting the 2 bishops again. And this time he's the one with the real weakness on e5. It just looks like it's kind of behind enemy lines, lacking backup. Hikaru is wondering whether to castle queenside. He says no for now. He's trying to get his rook out on the h-file. Very clever stuff. h4.
Definitely like h5, h4. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Maybe I guess he can go h4 himself. Rook f1, stopping a castle queenside.
Mm-hmm. Maybe black stops white castling queenside now.
Same old. Yeah. He does it. Knight to d4, tempting.
Mm-hmm. Logical. Wesley's got a time advantage.
Bishop g5 too.
Okay, he goes h4, very logical as well. I think Wesley just needs to avoid the scenario. Like in the previous game, he was totally fine. He was up a pawn, but then he went down to like 1 second against 1.5 minutes. He can't let that happen here in this final game of the portion.
Oh man, I forgot. We got 1 minute after this, guys. It's just been so fun watching them play, and the segment's about to end. Like, dang, wait, what? This is the last game. What do you mean? We want more chess, and we will have that because we have a whole nother section, probably the most fun, but also the most inaccurate because it's bullet section or segment coming up next.
Yeah, time flies during the Speed Chess Championship. I remember watching this tournament when I was still at university. Just, I'd skip lectures just to watch this tournament. It was so fun and so fast. But,
calling in sick to work.
Now.
Yeah, all right. I can't make it. I'm sick. What's wrong with you? I have chessitis. Oh, exactly. It sounds contagious. It is.
Yeah, spreads quick. Speed chessitis. Rook f4. He's going to win a pawn, Wesley. He keeps winning these pawns.
Yes, he's a pawn grabber here and doing great. Hikaru frustrated visibly. Last game here, 20 seconds on the clock for the segment, as this will be the last game. What will happen here? Will Wesley make it a 1-point game, boys and girls? Now, Of course, this one pawn that he does win is still kind of double on the c file there. So yeah, we're up a pawn, but it is harder to create something because of the structure being damaged. But Hikaru visibly frustrated.
Yeah. Which one would you take? F7, E4, 50-50.
Yeah, because I can't. I'm trying to see like rook takes king e2, like and rook f8 takes rook f1. We trade everything off. Yeah, I would take e4. I would take e4. I'm just kind of hope for the best because even here it's still hard to break through. Maybe bishop g. Oh, he stopped it. Of course he does. I was gonna go bishop g5. Like he stopped.
Yeah, maybe he had an opportunity just for one move, because now the bishops are off in a very nice way for black. Pressure on the g3 pawn. e5 drops with a check. I wonder whether Wesley saw that. Shake of the head. Probably a no.
Yeah, I mean, I think a draw, guys. I think this is pretty equal. Take, shuffle.
97% accuracy for both sides so far. Very accurate game. Hikaru leans back. I think only Hikaru can win, really, because he has 2 versus 1 on the king side. The whole queen side is just totally blocked. But yeah, should definitely be a draw with best play.
Yeah, maybe throw on some checks. Well, you have to be careful getting the king to g5. I love this move, king e2, king back to f3, yeah, rook d8, king e2. Yeah, there it is.
Will he play on Hikaru? He knows the timer is up. Will he go to the 1+1 with a 2-point advantage? Will he try to grow that advantage by playing on? Okay, he's spending too much time, too much risk. He takes the draw. There we go. Wesley started that run. He won 3 in a row, but it ended on a bit of a low point there. Back to 2-point advantage for Hikaru, and now down to the bullet.
2-point advantage. Guys, we got bullet up next. Who is ready? We're back. You know what time it is, guys. It is the Speed Chess Championship. I'm James Cantor III here, joined by Grandmaster David Howell. David, we still got chess left. We went through 2 segments. Now we're on to the bullet.
Exactly. We've still got a lot of chess left, a lot of games. Most importantly for Wesley So, who still has time to strike back. He ended up losing the 5+1 portion by 2 points, but he held firm in the 3+1. It was a bit topsy-turvy, a bit of a roller coaster going behind, then 3-game winning streak, and ultimately losing and drawing one at the end. But that means he's within striking distance. And if he starts well in the 1+1, he still has chances, Wesley, of a comeback. Hikaru, meanwhile, will be aiming to do what he does best and show his speed.
As we see there, get prepared and ready here. We know Hikaru is an absolute beast in this format here. Of course, when it's bullet, but also that 1 second increment kind of changes it. It's not true bullet where you don't, you just flag it. You still can, but that 1 second increment does change it just a little bit here. Wesley stated, as this is not his favorite time control. Understandable. I mean, who wants to be? This is my favorite time control playing Hikaru. Like, that's never a sentence. So we'll see what happens here. Back to stuff we've seen already, David.
Yeah, back to this old double fianchetto, Reti type system, and it's clear Wesley So has come prepared. He's playing the exact same line we saw earlier, where now White played a quick g4, and okay, Wesley puts his queen on a slightly different square. He got a good position last time. Can he do the same again? Hikaru is the first one to slow down. What are your predictions? Are we going to get a close fight in this bullet, or is Hikaru going to pull away?
I think if Wesley starts thinking a little bit, then Hikaru will pull away here. If Wesley can strike, though, if he can string off 2 or 3 wins, that builds confidence. And it helps so much to build confidence, guys. Like even I think Magnus has a confidence video on YouTube. Actually, you can Google it. I highly recommend it just to build your own confidence there. But it talks about just how big confidence can be for your game and what it can do. So you can build your confidence by winning a few games, but easier said than done. You are playing, half of a machine here in Hikaru. So, yeah, it's very, very difficult. But if he can score, for instance, right now he's down like 20 seconds. It's not good. But if he's able to score, he will build some confidence.
Yeah, and not for the first time in this match. The player with the white pieces was struggling. Hikaru's trying to keep it together with tactics. Wesley had better moves. We saw the blue arrow appear. He should have traded off these knights before doing exactly what he did. Knight e4, knight takes c5. But again, in trouble now. Hikaru Nakamura, Wesley has to find this move. The only one, knight to e6. He's now going to block the diagonal with a queen trade. And it's all about the white c-pawn. That c-pawn is just dropping off. Wesley For the millionth time in this match, it seems like he's up a pawn with black and should be winning. Hikaru shaking his head, not happy
There's
at all.
something. He's like, oh man, what am I doing? What am I doing? This could be his chance to strike here, but it's 20 seconds on the clock with that 1 second increment. He's trying to hold it, got that extra pawn. Can he convert, chat? Can he convert? You want to draw, bro?
Wesley, he just wanted that increment. He wanted the extra 1 second each move. Is that important? That kind of margin could be decisive eventually, and it feels like he's got to win this. Wesley, like a win to start the 1+1 would be fantastic for him. But Hikaru is so good at defending and so good at eating time off the match clock.
Oh, yeah, that is another thing. Eating the clock up is another strategy to use. Even when you're losing, right? Just try to make that extra move. You got to checkmate me. You got to play the game out all the way. Use that extra time, especially when you're up in the match, as Hikaru is. Moves coming in quickly. Bishop h3, taking knight g5.
He doesn't take that knight off the board. He probably will have to soon. But, we see Wesley so tentative, like keeps just repeating moves. And there we go. He finally makes a decision, given a question mark. He's giving back his extra pawn, or does he have some tactics in mind? I think he's just given back the pawn for no reason here, and it's back to a level endgame. How does Hikaru just keep doing this, keep surviving these difficult positions?
Yeah, it's one thing. F4 is a strong move, which he finds. Of course, he does. In King F2, we get the game restricting King. But yeah, it's his format. This is bullet with Hikaru, right? And that's how it is. Very fast, finds the moves, puts you under time pressure here as Wesley is under. Yeah, he said no draw. Hikaru with Wesley with a head shake.
Yeah, it was definitely Hikaru who could have taken the draw if he wanted it. Now we might see the draw anyway. Hikaru leans back. Wesley surely tempted to play on. No, he doesn't. And is a draw eventually. Probably a fair result, but it was Hikaru, the more fortunate of the two.
Yeah, it's Wesley found some great moves with Queen to C3 after whole exchange to win a pawn. And Wesley going back to the center game as once before.
He got one very, very painful loss with this opening. Before a better game a bit later on, Wesley So he got a win. So it's 1 out of 2 in this opening so far. But this is the whole idea, right? G5, H4, H5. You can pre-move, which maybe helps with bullet.
Definitely, yeah. And sometimes I like to wait to play G5 until I get a knight on G3. That's kind of like a general thing to deter knight H5 type ideas and be able to swing in F5. But bar swinging.
Yeah, big missed opportunity. We saw the red X appear. Black could have taken this knight off the board, and there was a nasty knight fork, knight takes F3. So quite an elementary tactic, but not a very kind of normal one in this opening. As we see the players repeat, will Wesley go back with his queen to allow bishop takes G1? Nope, he chooses a better square. Defends the F3 pawn. Still doing well.
Not allowing that anymore. No more of that, he says. His pieces are just kind of scrambled here. It's hard to get F4, F5 in, obviously, because of bishop. And Engine pointing out bishop C1 to play F4, F5. Get those 3 pawns on F5, G5, and H5 will be absolutely crucial. Very strong play. Knight D5. Knight E4, okay. The other way.
Wow, that is a weird decision. Knight D5 looks so natural, getting the bishop pair. Now this knight is just horribly placed. That was strange from Wesley. Maybe wanting to just surprise Hikaru a little bit, but still better, still with a big advantage. If he can find the right way forward, at some point he's got to push F4 or G6. First he defends his knight, and the white king's open now.
Wide open. Attacks are coming. Ooh, knight A3. You probably should take that. He says no. King A1. This is scary. Bar thinks the same. Knight to C4. Wanting to open up the diagonal for the queen.
Yeah, you have to take that. Otherwise, black just mates with queen to E5, and the 2 knights are stronger than 1. He's going to do it anyway, and knight back to A3.
Goodness. Yeah.
Knight back to A3 is over.
Bang, bang.
Wesley.
Check up. Rook B2.
Yeah. C6 also good. Knight F6 check. I think he's just going to move his king out of the way. King to H8, and he's threatening mate. Too strong.
Yeah, Wesley needs to stop playing this one. I think Wesley just needs to all together don't play this one anymore. And he had 2 very mean losses with this one, with this opening, and Hikaru just got this one figured out.
Yeah. Like, even if his position is objectively good, Wesley, like, he's just been bamboozled in the tactics, and there we go. Hikaru takes the win. That was a very important win for Hikaru. 3-game lead now, 18 minutes left. Wesley, yeah, it just felt like putting his knight on the edge of the board was so counterintuitive, and he was punished for it.
Yeah, and it's so hard to, obviously when you get these tactical skirmishes um, with Hikaru here, it's just difficult. And Wesley was now within 1 point, and now down three here. Hard to see. 17 minutes to go.
Yeah, he needs to keep up his good streak with the black pieces. Keeps getting good positions, just needs to finish some of them off. But it looks like a reverse Grunfeld now, the pawn structure. White with pressure against the black center. And yeah, this fianchetted bishop just fantastic. Wesley is trying to keep things together with his queen. Maybe he's going to try and slide off and trade off White's MVP, the bishop here on g2. Still looks like a good position for black. Still alive. Playing a bit quicker than he did in the previous game, Wesley, so that is
Carol
important.
with a long think here too. Very nice long think. Does he take? Head shake. He's like, what do I do? Pawn takes does allow him to, take with the C pawn and get rid of the weakness. So I think it was a very nice move. 92, clever.
Yeah, the knight is going one of these two ways. The knight was too tricky, too many forks in the air, so Wesley trades it off, but that has come at the cost of the bishop pair. Does feel like White's bishop on g2 is better than the black knight right now, so small advantage for Hikaru Nakamura. Can he turn it into anything bigger? Queen trade. Lots of endgames
Super
between
equal.
these two.
Yeah. Super equal. Doubling works out definitely like this. It can take, and man, can I do anything on the file? Really, not a lot. I mean, it's like a paper tiger, as they say.
Yeah. Black knight probably enjoys the pawn structure more than the bishop since it is so blocked. But I wouldn't be shocked to see e4 at some point just to try and break that bishop out from Hikaru. And White's
And
pawns, yeah, tough to mobilize.
Rook B7. It says psych, not today. No more Rook B7. Maybe Rook D7. There's E4. Your move takes.
The black rook, luckily not trapped, but oh, it can't go off the a file since a5 would hang. What does Hikaru do? Does he take the draw, or does he try and eat time off the match clock?
Definitely looking to eat the time there. Takes, and Rook A7 is likely something to be played. Could repeat again,
No.
get a little bit more time.
He can do it now. Take, rook a7. The a5 pawn was indefensible, but he waits Hikaru and back to level. The black rook is really passive, but now trying to get active, Wesley So.
I do like he's going behind the pawn here. I mean, we have some chances as white. A4 is strong. There it is. A4. And Rook takes pawn. Maybe bishop C4 first. He does go for it. But A5's not hanging anymore.
Yep. And suddenly the white rook looks nice, but not doing too much. Black's pieces, ooh, especially after this, look fantastic. Black needs to somehow get the knight to f4. What? He's
That's
played
a huge
f4?
blunder. It says
What?
takes. Wesley back in the game. Check. Head shake.
Oh my gosh. Why king g6? That was an odd move. He's always up a pawn, Wesley So, but he needs to win this game now. He's always up a pawn with black. He moves his rook the wrong direction. He should have gone to a1 with the black rook.
Ooh, Hikaru able to save this game. Rook takes should be a draw. We say should be. What's the time look like? Yeah. Wow. Check. Oh, he loses the pawn. Oh my goodness, what happened?
He's lost the pawn, Hikaru, and he's not doing this anymore. King takes rook. The
Oh
black king is getting
my
in
goodness.
front. Wow. Wesley takes the win. Hikaru really should have been able to save that there. Nerves, I think, for both of them in that game.
Too fast, too furious. A little bit too fast, a little bit too furious. And of course, Wesley back in the game. 2-point lead, 13 minutes to go. Just under 14,
Yeah.
actually.
Calculation over everything, right, James? And he
See,
nearly
yeah.
calculated that in game, but that king of pawn one, I think he just realized he didn't realize the white king would be slightly too far offside.
That's all it takes is that one blip and that one disconnection and thinking, not thinking enough. Obviously, it's easier said than done, guys. This is bullet chess. And 1 second increment here. But now I think Wesley with a nice position here by playing against the hanging pawn structure with D and C pawns. got a nice bishop on b2. I definitely like white's position.
Yeah, that bishop is definitely the most valuable piece. Big pressure on black center, and the eval bar going crazy here. Bishop takes knight, followed by dropping the white knight back to d3 is a fork. That would have won the c-pawn. That would have been a decisive advantage already for Wesley So. Now black has to find knight e4. I think that's an easy-ish one, but the follow-up is still difficult for black.
There's going to go queen h3, which is on the board now. You can kick these knights away. Very strong in the center, but can be kicked away. f3, queen f5. What a move. That seems so crazy. Like, Hikaru leaned in like, what? Queen f5? Yeah, queen f5 is not a move that was on your radar.
Yeah, he's trying to provoke Hikaru to play g6 now, which is probably just a very good move, but it does weaken the dart squares around the black king, so Hikaru keeps it a bit safer. Tries to blunt the white bishop instead, very natural. And h4, this could go in any direction. Like Wesley's trying to like scare Hikaru by pushing his pawn forward. Doesn't really threaten much concretely. Now the white queen goes back. But Hikaru, he's in retreat mode, and his pawns are still weak. The hanging pawns here have advanced.
Bishop really strong. Rook d4, what a move. It was not on the radar at all, but b4 was. So now we take. b3 is hanging. Have to do something about it. So he does capture. Double the rooks. White looks clean here. Definitely like in Wesley's position. What's the time look like? Sort of even. We do got that 1 second increment.
Yeah, I have a feeling the clock is going to decide this. Oh, knight d3 is so sneaky from Hikaru. He's trying to open up the c-file. If white's rook ever ends up on d3, there's a knight e5 at the end to overpower the white pieces. Queen d2, a good dodge. But Wesley shaking his head. Now he can get rid of this knight, maybe.
Yeah, and bishop a5. Queen d3 too as well. Hikaru saying something. So sort of adult language it seemed.
I think he was saying, why am I always down a pawn in every single game against Wesley? White, black, I'm always down a pawn. Watch out, knight f3. Ooh. Good check.
Okay, now take on g7. Oh, whoa, rook c2. That was a strong move. Was there any tactics there? Probably, but no, have enough time to think about it. Whoa, wait a second. There's checks everywhere. Rook g4 too as well. Rook g4 on the board. That could be GG.
That is GG. Wesley, though, only has 3 seconds.
Goodness.
He can now take the rook, and he's defended g2. He's a rook up. He's about to make it a 1-point match.
Queen f4. He's blocking. Wesley playing so calm here.
Oh, he's protecting everything. This is great for
Queen
Wesley.
f8. Queen f8. Oh, my goodness. There it is on the board. Woo-hoo! Wesley. Big flexly. Oh, my goodness.
That would have been checkmate, ladies and gentlemen. Next move, G takes f8. White would have had a new queen on the board after that queen sack. It would have been checkmate, discovered checkmate. Brilliant from Wesley. So, wow, anything could happen now. He's ahead in the 1+1 against Hikaru. He's fighting back.
He is swinging back. Hikaru is definitely mad here, and of course, this is his segment. And of course, maybe did Wesley fool us all? Maybe he just said that. I saw somebody in chat say that. Oh, he's just saying it to throw Hikaru off. In the interview, it's like, oh yeah, 1-1. I don't really like it that much, but secretly he's been playing 30-second and bullet chess every day, preparing. Maybe he fooled us all.
It's like 5-1 is my favorite segment. Lol. Just kidding. It's actually 3+1 and 1+1.
1+1. I've been playing 100 games every day.
Wow, and Wesley's a pawn up again. What can I say? Bishop takes e5 though. Difficult move. Blue arrow appears. That would have been the only way to keep the extra pawn, but parting with control of the dark squares, I think in bullet chess is just it's just reckless. So he gives the pawn back, and now he'll be aiming to dodge any knight d6 ideas. He allows that knight to jump in. He's going on the counterattack.
That is correct. Wesley wasn't too happy about this last move that he played here. But, White definitely has some very good bishops. You got knight b6. If the queen moves, knight d6. The rooks look great. Very nice position here. Definitely has to be wrong somehow, but it's bully. He's like, figure it out. And it wasn't knight d6, apparently. e5, really strong. Hikaru with the face.
Hikaru's blundered. He missed this. He jumped in too soon. Rook to c1, defending his knight. Would have prepared this move even stronger next turn. But he missed that the connection was broken, and now this white knight is trapped. He can go back, Wesley, so go after it. And he was winning that knight. Oh, he didn't, and it's still alive. But Wesley's a pawn up again, and still with a big advantage.
Story of the day, Wesley So just being a pawn up. He must have just been taking some lessons with Yasser or something. The way he's just grabbing these pawns every game here, David. What is this?
Yeah, pretty much every game, and he just has to avoid knight forks. Bishop versus knight with pawns on both flanks should be a big advantage here. The bishop on c5 will be glorious. White's knight on e4 will not be so stable, with f5 coming later. Still big winning chances. He's now 2 pawns up. Wesley So, he's going to win the f-pawn.
Boom.
He's winning. Wow, he's going to tie up the match. Hikaru looks tilted. He looks flustered here, and understandably, like, he hasn't played that badly, Hikaru, but Wesley's suddenly upped his level.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we've never seen. I've never seen Wesley play this great in bullet chess against Hikaru too. You know, like, this is a different Wesley. Something happened, Chad. What happened where this Wesley came to play today? What happened? Oh, he taking the draw? No, he said draw. What? What are you talking about? King G6. Keep moving, boys. King H5. He's going to walk the king up to H3 and go for the mate with Rook G1 mate.
Wow, that's so brave.
Not if I mate you first. G4.
G4. He's got to play it, Wesley. He's driven the rook away, though. He's going to check. And now he's bringing his king. Now the white rook isn't hitting the black h-pawn. Now it's mate in 1. Look at that. Beautiful.
Hikaru blunder mate in 1. Oh my goodness, it's a tie match. Big Flexley, get off me, says Wesley So. It is a tie match, boys and girls. Anything can and will happen.
Wow, he's just mated Hikaru twice in a row. Like, rook g1 mate was nice. Queen f8 mate previously was just equally beautiful. Wesley So has just mated the world number 2 twice. And Hikaru looks so disturbed by what's happening. It's back to this opening that was so nice for Wesley earlier. Hikaru, I fear that he's massively on tilt right now. Look at this. Eval Bar says nice advantage for Wesley for the 2nd time in a row.
Yeah, this is incredible here. I mean, Wesley playing on a different level, hasn't moved, hasn't smiled, hasn't done anything since he got here, you know, in this 1+1 today. It's a different Wesley. Never seen him play like this, especially against Hikaru. Play incredible right now. He's tied the match, guys. He was down almost 4 games.
Ooh, that being said, he might have missed this one. Hikaru upping the speed and setting a trap. The white queen was attacked on the e-file, and the knight was attacked as well. She's having to kind of sneak her way to safety. And knight c3, apparently a very strong move for Hikaru. He finds it. Beautiful deflection of the white queen.
Oh my goodness. Way to strike back, big dog. Way to strike back, big dog. That was gross. Okay, so queen takes, knight takes, and then queen f3, hopefully.
Only way to cling on. Otherwise, it's just resigns for Wesley So. It's ugly, but he has to do it. Look at this pawn structure, and now there's a knight fork in the air. The black pawn is going to sit pretty on d3. Very good position. And the extra 30 seconds for Hikaru. Oh, Wesley's blundered a fork.
Oh my goodness. Oh, look at Hikaru with the flex. I don't know what he said there, but he's locked in. He is hype. He is hype. He was pumped after that. Let's go. Got him.
Wow. Wesley's really struggled with white in this match, but he's still alive. There's under 5 minutes now. This could be one of the last few matches, or one of the last few games, sorry, in the portion. Wesley needs to win with black. He needs to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, this is different. Wesley, it's really anyone's game here, and the momentum is in Wesley's favor. Now, let's see what happens here. That's a 1-game lead. If Hikaru wins again, it's going to be very, very scary for Wesley. He will be in sort of must-win territory.
Yeah, and the blue arrow appeared on knight to e4 a few moves ago. And even here, he plays that move, knight to e4. He's got a huge advantage again with the black pieces. Hikaru's openings with white have been, something has been a bit off. And there we go, shake of the head. He's struggling to hold. Now he's facing the 2 bishops, backwards c-pawn for white. This is really, really difficult, this position. e4, and the black bishop is going to be unleashed.
Guys, you got to remember, too, what happens in overtime, right? There's going to be 4 1+1 games. So, if it's still tied. And if it's still tied, then we got Armageddon, So what do you guys think, chat? Predictions. Will he do it? It's very likely. It's very possible. But it all stems to this game right now, David. What do you think?
Yeah, it's too tough to call. I think objectively, Wesley is pretty much winning this position just because white's knight is so bad. I think probably he gets another game. Either way, there we go. The White Knight had to try and gamble and take a pawn, but it's going to find itself offside. If we do get another game, it's just about who holds their nerve. Unfortunately for Wesley, he's white, and the player with white keeps getting horrible positions out of the openings. So I don't know. It's one of those. It might just be a one-game shootout for glory.
That is kind of funny. Like, they've been just crushing each other with black every game. Black's just winning.
Okay, he goes for opposite color bishops, Wesley. So I think he feels he's got so much domination he can just walk his king through on the dark squares. But the white's rook does have one open file. Maybe he sold his advantage a bit too short here, Wesley. He's up a pawn again, yet again. But is it enough?
There's also, if rook moves off the second rank, there's rook b2 to bishop e1. Very strange idea.
Yeah, great practical chances for Wesley to win this, but Hikaru could probably make this the last game if he can fight hard enough, if he can survive long enough, if he gets the draw.
That is true. Man, that's a lot of moves with 2 minutes on the clock too as well to get the draw here. It is possible that 1 second increment.
Position repeating. Wesley keeps doing this, but he can't repeat 3 times. Hits the bishop. The white rook is so active now, though. Wesley's totally lost control. He either needs to kind of bank this as a win or get out of here quickly and give himself time for one more game.
H5, maybe try to walk the king in. Wesley's starting to realize what's going on here. Minute 50, guys. What do you think, chat? Everything is coming down to this right here.
Oh,
take. Look at the bar.
Look at the bar.
Yeah, one. Oh, H4. Oh, he found the right idea. Big fella. That was so strong. Rook H7 behind the pawn.
Yeah.
G5, and we walk the king up. Or just
it's cemented now. Black has 2 big strengths here. The extra pawn, but also the H4 pawn is so strong. He can never be allowed to advance. And now the black king is free to run. The white rook is just trapped here on H5, on the H file. Oh, Wesley's so close now. 1 minute left on the match clock. Will he tie it up just in time? He's going round in circles, though.
Yeah, this feels like this is so close to being that little draw by repetition. Like, it's so close to that. Oh, my goodness.
What is the winning plan? Oh, he's let it slip, Wesley. He now needs to trade off rooks. Rook to e5. Only move to keep the advantage. He needs to realize that that was a winning endgame, but he doesn't. He drops his b pawn. Wesley So. He's also running out of time. He's lost his advantage.
It's over. It's over. 20 seconds still on the clock. Yeah, this one's it. Unless he gets one more game with time.
He needs to get out of there now. 16 seconds.
There's some mate ideas.
Oh no! And there we go.
It's over.
It's over. The rook trade, Wesley. Wesley exhales. It was so close. He was one move away earlier, from just one accurate move away, but a smile from both players. Fist pump from Hikaru. We reach move 100. Oh, poor Wesley. So close, but Hikaru clutched up so impressively, and it is a draw. Hikaru takes the match 11-10.
Wow. He can breathe a sigh of relief there. My goodness. Hikaru makes it and beats Wesley So. And he goes to London. Who's going to be in London to meet him there? But at the same time, Hikaru got it done, boys and girls. Wesley was so close, David. Wow, incredible.
Oh, the heartbreak on Wesley's face. Like, he woke up. He brought his best chess. He was incredible. He had so many chances. He outplayed Hikaru on so many occasions, but ultimately just one hurdle too far. And for Hikaru, I think surviving this match, he'll believe he can go on and win the Speed Chess Championship now. Like, qualifying for London is such a big bonus, but I think relief is the #1 emotion for Hikaru Nakamura.
Man, you can breathe a sigh of relief, and we're going to breathe as well, guys. I need everybody to just gather yourself, get your questions ready. We're going to go on a short break, and we'll be back with an interview with Hikaru Nakamura.
And we are joined by Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, who has indeed made it to the semi-finals in London by defeating Wesley So in what was a very close match at the end. Hikaru how are you feeling after that roller coaster?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very interesting match. Obviously, it was very intense. There were quite a few critical moments in this match, but ultimately I prevailed. So I'm happy to win. Not really happy with the way I got there, but that's life.
You mentioned you weren't so happy with what was going on in your mind when Wesley was fighting back and fighting so hard.
Well, I mean, the first thing, in all fairness to Wesley, is that when I was up 4 points, and I got this Bishop and Knight time scramble. I mean, I should have won that. With the trend of the match, the way it was going, if I win that game, it would have been a complete blowout. Which, and in all honesty, is probably how it should have been. But for the fans, it was better that didn't happen. And then I tilted very badly the next game, and for some reason, I just couldn't really find the rhythm. And Wesley really started turning up the heat. Basically, after I lost those 2 games in a row to get to where it was +2, that's when I kind of never really felt very secure in the match after that point. So, I would also add that unlike past years, I think I still am pretty good in the bullet portion, but I don't think I'm as good as I once was. So that probably didn't help matters. Normally, I feel like if I get the bullet and I'm not down, I'll just win the match. But Wesley played very well after that. And I think he was feeling momentum, feeling very inspired. Unfortunately, I was able to win that game right before the end. And I mean, even this last one was really, really bad by me. I think unfortunately, chess is it's a different game than it used to be. I used to always play this knight f3 b3 stuff at work. Now everybody's super booked up, and you have to have a lot more variety. But I think it was a good wake up call that trying to play random openings and not prepare a la Dubov is probably not a very smart idea.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right? And Hikaru, we heard you in an interview just a few moments ago saying that, of course, if you didn't make it to London, you've got other stuff going on, the candidates, the birth of your child. Now that you have made it, how do you feel about that?
Well, good news. When I did the interview a couple of days ago, I thought that was the only event. But in fact, I'm actually very happy to be going to London because right after London, there's a freestyle event in Germany. So I'll play the SCC in London, and I'll go from London to Germany for that event right away. So what I said 2 days ago was true at the time, but now I can play that event, and I'll just skip anything else in like March. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm actually really excited. Whereas 3 days ago I was not excited when I did the interview, but now with the chance to play both London and freestyle back to back, it's very good. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably going to have a matchup where I actually will need to do serious preparation against Ali Reza. I'd be honestly shocked if I'm not playing him in the semifinals. But nonetheless, it's good to be there.
So you think he's a big favorite in his quarterfinal?
I mean, I feel like Ali Reza these days is, I mean, in my view at least, is probably the best bullet player in the world. I don't really think there's, at least in my mind, I think I can still compete, but I think he's probably the best bullet player. I struggle to see Nepo keeping up with Ali Reza. I mean, Nepo is also getting older. Ali Reza, he's getting older in a sense, but he's still extremely young. So it's really, really hard for me to see any world where Nepo wins, unless Nepo is able to dominate, say, the 5+1 portion. If Nepo can do that, he has a chance. But I would say the odds of Ali Reza winning are, I mean, probably like 90%.
Wow, no, fair enough. He's a very, very quick player. And also, you touched upon the prospect of candidates now. It's on the horizon. What's your preparation going to look like ahead of that? I guess London and freestyle will be good prep, but what else do you have planned?
Yeah, so just looking at the schedule of when the candidates is a little bit earlier than I would have liked. I would have preferred it to be more like starting in the middle of April, like it has in years past. But I was actually not sure what I was going to play because I did intend to play one tournament before the candidates. But with freestyle, it makes it very easy. So I will be, if the schedule works out, I'll be going to India for the Global Chess League. In about 3.5 weeks, schedule permitting, or life permitting, I should say. If I can, I'll play there, and then I'll play the SCC in London, and I'll play freestyle in Germany, and that'll be it until I play the candidates in Cyprus. So I will be preparing quite hard. I've actually already started getting ready ever since the final game in Washington about a week ago.
Nice. I think the whole world is already looking forward to the candidates next year. And Hikaru, just before I let you go, we have a couple of quick questions from our chat. And NA Systems MTG says or asks, lots of games where you were down a pawn with white. Was it due to kind of shaky opening choices, or was Wesley just well prepared?
Well, I mean, I don't want to. It's a tough question to answer. I think what I would say is that for me, I feel like I can show up and it's good enough. And in reality, it probably isn't good enough. I was very lucky to survive the white games. In a bigger tournament like the Candidates, of course, I'll play real openings. I won't play this, C3 Bishop D3 garbage. I was kind of hoping that I would get away with it. I think like the first game or two I did, and then Wesley just started punishing me every game. And I didn't really have a backup plan, honestly. So I kind of just started playing Knight 3, E3, B3 stuff. That was my way of getting away from playing like a proper open Sicilian or a Rossalimo. But it's something where I came in with a very basic strategy, and it wasn't good. And I think that's kind of why it's very hard to. It's really a good example of why it's hard to play chess, classical, rapid, whatever it is, if you're not well prepared, because everybody knows what to do against all sorts of different openings. So it's more that I didn't do preparation, and I got punished. I mean, I know I won the match, but I got punished out of the opening in most of these games, especially with white. And it's a good reminder that you can't just show up and play.
Yeah, it's very relatable these days. Whenever I play classical, I'm trying the same thing, but with
I mean, the other thing that's very weird is I don't know if they played parts of the interview from the other day, but like I really like playing 5-1. Like 5-1 is my favorite time control now by a big margin, because I really like thinking. I really like trying to play good moves. And you probably noticed in the 5-1, I usually had good positions, at least with black, but I was down like 2 minutes on the clock every game. And at 3+1, I started moving a lot quicker, and the flow wasn't there in the same kind of way. So I actually really like 5+1 the most. And like if the whole event were 5+1, I'd be happier with that than 3-1 or 1-1, because I like thinking. Unfortunately, I really like thinking these days.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because Wesley said the exact same thing. He said his results were better at 3+1, but he enjoyed the 5+1 more. Maybe the players can get together and make that a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the format is good. It's just the brains, the processing isn't as fast as it once was. It needs an upgrade. Kind of hard to do that though for a human.
I know the feeling. And final question, Hikaru. Marcinasso asks whether you'll be more active over the board if you become world champion.
Very, very, very unlikely. Having said that, the landscape is very unclear currently. I think we have to wait and see what happens in 2026. I think there's supposed to be a pilot event or test event for this total chess world championship, I think it is. So there's supposed to be a pilot tournament. Have to see how that goes. Have to see if there is a real tour in 2027. Have to see what happens with the Grand Chess Tour. I mean, there are a lot of different tours and things of that nature. So I don't really know right now. I don't see myself playing a lot of classical chess. But again, classical chess currently as it's defined could change. I think there's a very realistic possibility that, in a year or so, suddenly we're calling 45-minute chess classical chess. So the definitions are, it's kind of hard to know what the definition will be. If it remains the way it currently is with like 90 minutes or 2 hours, I don't really see myself playing that much classical chess. I mean, maybe a tournament here or there, but definitely not like the Grand Chess Tour or anything of that nature. So I think that more or less answers it. But if the total chess thing becomes a major thing, with the quicker games, there's a decent chance that I'll play those events.
Awesome. And Hikaru, that just leaves me to say many congratulations. Thanks for spending the time with us as well. And see you in London. The fans will be
awesome.
very excited.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the match.